Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. I'm back. I've been gone for about a week, but trust me, y'all, had a lot on my plate. But we're going to review the fights this weekend. Y'all saw my thumbnail. Say Joshua and Figueroa got exposed. That's how I see it. We're going to talk about that and other things when we come back. Y'all know the drill. Let's turn to as I said, I'm a back. Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I know I've been gone for a week, but I'm back. I'm back. Got a lot on my plate. Boy, when it rains, it pours. Ooh, y'all wouldn't believe the week I had. Man, it was just a hot mess. Literally a hot mess. Both my AC units crashed down hard. It was 90 degrees up in this house. Ooh, that took priority. I can't sit here do no show when it's hot. It took a minute to get fixed. And my little dog, she got real sick. The other dog was sick at first. She got like gravely sick. So we've been round the clock with her and other things. Man, it was a hard week. But I'm back. I'm back. Our money is in the building. What's poppin', King? He said, salute Miss T. Salute to you too, King. Yeah, I'm back. Hopefully, I can knock the cobwebs off or whatever. But yeah, it was just a tough week. You win some, you lose some. You know, that's life though. Things be happening unexpectedly. And what's crazy? When I was on the show Friday, the week before, I was hot as hell. Sweating like hell. I was like, what the hell? And then, like, when I got off the show, I looked up at my thermostat in my room and that thing was blank. I was like, oh, hell. And one thing, look, every time I go through something, I share some things, because I was like, I didn't know. So I'm figuring there's other people out there like me. Like, I didn't know, that you should get your air conditioning unit serviced once a year. I didn't know that. Nobody told me that when I bought this house. This is my first brand new house, but I've been here over 10 years, so but I bought it brand new. So apparently that's something you should do. If you have a home, you should get your air conditioning unit serviced. And well, I change the filters all the time, but sometimes they can get clogged up. What's up, extra? Oh, he said, where you been at? I'm telling y'all now the horrible week I had. But I'm okay. God provided. He said, salute Queen T. Salute to you too, King. Our money said extra. Oh, salute, bro. But yeah, so that's something I learned, that you need to service your engine, not your engine, I'm sorry, your air conditioning units. Because apparently there's a drainage pipe or something that leads outside, and sometimes that thing get clogged. Now, when they service your engine, they have to clean the inside too. So I'm like, everything they did, I felt like I could do in that respect, but I cannot because it takes special skills to clean off your air conditioning unit. My friend, he's real versed in in air conditioning stuff, but he said no, you don't want to do it yourself, because if you bend anything or break anything, you'll mess everything up. So can y'all hear me okay? Hopefully you guys can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Um, extra O say our money salute, bro. But yeah, so whew, Lord, so the first person I had come out to do it, of course he got me. His T got for a lot of money. He got me. Ain't fixed shit. I had to call somebody else out here. And so they supposed to be refunding me some of that. But yeah, it just went down hard. Um just know, like, that's something I learned to get it fixed. So I got on a maintenance plan with the new folks. They gonna come out twice a year for the free, service the air conditioning units, make sure they up and running right and correctly. I didn't know they had to be cleaned down and all that crap. And my dog got sick. She had pancreatitis. She's an elderly dog, so they at the end of their life, but I mean, it was bad. It was real bad. My daughter was losing it. I was like, damn. When I tell y'all, needless to say, when Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford do happen, this T can't go nowhere. Y'all know that I can't go nowhere, courtesy to my dog and my AC units. I can't go nowhere. I never seen so much money fly out my hand in the blink of an eye, boy. I'm gonna tell you. But that guy who came the first day, he got me. He got me good too. Because, as my friend told me, he said, well, you paying for what he know in his head, if that makes sense. Because he can tell me anything and make that shit sound all high tech and everything. How the hell what I know? I don't know. I'm going by what he said. But I know when he left here in the beginning of the week, I ain't had it cooled down just a bit, but it was no AC, no real AC. It was 90 degrees up in here, y'all. 90 degrees. I had a real sauna going on up in this house. Both of the units were down. It got two units for my house. Both of them was down hard. Our money said, Miss T, we might not get that fight anyway. Oh no. What happened in the week that I was gone? Oh nah, say it ain't so, our money. Say it ain't so. But y'all know at the top of my hour what I do. Water check, water check, water check. I'm up to my usual 10 bottles. I got some more water to drink. Y'all know I tell y'all 2 times a day to drink your water. If you're not a big water drinker, that's first thing in the morning before the toes hit the ground. Or you get into your morning routine, thinking your body is the engine and the water is the lube. So, a lot of moving parts going on. And the second time is at night before you lay it down for the final night's rest. And there's a lot of reads going on, revamping, recharging, rebooting. You're cleaning out toxins. The average person burns between 900 to 1,000 calories at night when they sleep, real sleep. And, if you don't drink water any other time, these are the times you should drink water. Even the American Heart Association agrees that you should drink water before you go to sleep at night. It's good for your heart. So please, if we still in the summer, y'all, summer ain't over. That's September 21st. Stay hydrated. Drink your water. Please drink your water. Our money say I've been drinking my water for sure. I heard that, King. I know that's right. And you know I've been over here drinking water. Man, when I was such in agony. Lord have mercy. Like, oh my God, my skin was killing me. But that heat, man, I can't take it. I can't take it. We're going to do a little housekeeping. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And my humblest voice, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you already have, you're already locked in. You ain't got to do that. But please hit the like and share. And on the replay, make sure you hit that. In other words, lean on my leezy when you step into my Yeezy. Basically, hit the like button when you step into my square circle, and leave comments. And these people who leave comments in a different language, I see it, but I can't read the damn thing, so I don't really have nothing to say. You got to put it in, if you want me to understand it and read it, you got to put it in the language that I understand. But for those of you who email me, I got back with you during the week. And hopefully the information I gave y'all was helpful. Anybody who's interested in trying out my program, with finding the health in you, you can let me know at boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. It works. I'm telling you, it works. You holler at your girl. You guys are fortunate. You have all your body parts. So first off, thank God for that. You know what I'm saying? But it works. Trust and believe me. But y'all see the thumbnail. Y'all see the thumbnail. And I know y'all watched these fights this weekend. So, what's funny? I was not, I repeat, not going to buy no damn Joshua and Usyk fight. I wasn't. I was over there in Saudi Arabia. I'm not dealing with that shit. But, you know what? I was sitting here and said, I know Sky Sports had the rights to it. And they was going to, show it. And every time, y'all answer this for me. When they say Sky Sports, are they talking about the zone? If it's Sky Sports having the rights to show the program, is that seen on the zone? Because I'm thinking Sky Sports. That's all I had read. And then I was just sitting there, and I say, I wonder if it's on the zone. So I went to the zone, and I opened it up, and to my surprise, lo and behold, there it was. I came in on the 6th round, so I didn't even see the beginning fights. I tried to go back and watch them earlier today, like Badu Jack's fight, and I seen that time when they went over the minutes. I think it was the 8th round. I was like, well, what in the hell going on here? Yo, I got a lot to say. I got a lot to say. And I hope you guys do too. So check it out. I'm going to drop the link after I'm going to say a couple of things. I think Joshua and Figueroa got exposed this weekend. But they got exposed to something I have been saying for months. It's been a year since I've had this program. But so at least a year, I've always felt like Joshua was an okay, excellent fighter. And I'm gonna describe it like this. You know how in school you got maybe 1 to 3 people that gets 100 or close to 100, like over 95 every time there's a work assignment test or whatever. He got everybody else, the bulk of the people, who gets less than 95, but gets more than a D. They get in between the C, the B, and the low A. And then you got your failures, your D's and your F's. But Joshua, to me, falls in that everybody category. He's an okay fighter. No special effects, as Floyd would say. He could very well just go along with his career and just he don't do nothing to bring attention to me. I mean, if it wasn't for Eddie promoting him like he do and making him like the cash cow, he need to thank Eddie. All of them, that whole team, they did wonders because he's an average fighter. I don't even want to say average. He's good. He's big as hell. So therefore he's gonna hurt you when he hits you. But to say he's an elite fighter, no. I've never felt that about him. And that's not a hit against him. And yes, I do think Deontay will mollywop his ass. I've always thought that. And I do think that he didn't want to fight Deontay. It was just evidently clear to me. Al Money said 4-minute round was crazy. Yes, it was. I was like, what in the hell? And you know who else I think like that? Badu Jack. Sure, Badu Jack has come up with some short ends of the stick in his boxing career because there's like 2 or 3 fights. I was like, nah, this dude won. But he's not that great of a fighter. He need to take his big ass back down to them lower weights because, putting on weight, maybe he feel like I'm a big guy. I got to, I just think, to me, it's just, I hate to say the word laziness because I don't see him as a lazy person, but he keeps gaining weight and going up in weight and up in weight and up in weight. And I think he could very well have stayed down at least around the light heavy or at least around 168. But he's not that great of a fighter. And the bigger he gets, the worse he looks. Y'all think that? Y'all let me know. But anywho, seeing Joshua like that, seeing that he didn't have an answer for Usyk. Usyk is a more pure, complete fighter. This is why I always say I like those type fighters because they can make a way out of nowhere. He don't keep his head on the line. He moves at angles. He moving through the whole 12 rounds, which is kind of unusual for a heavyweight. But he was schooling Joshua. Joshua was doing everything he could to hang on. And guess what? When he lost it. He lost it. And I know you guys saw it. His behavior. That's because people have been putting 100 on 10 when it comes to Joshua. All these years, making him feel like he's the creme de la creme. He couldn't handle a loss. This is why you got to be careful when you prop up people that ain't really on that level. That's how they been advertising them, pushing them like this or pushing them like that. And I know I've heard some compelling arguments about, from Joshua's side and point of view. And I want to say shout outs to Detail Blaster for giving that information. I haven't forgotten what you said, sir. But I still think Joshua avoided him. I mean, if he wanted a fight with Deontay, he would have made one. It doesn't take that long. I mean, I'd rather seen him fight Deontay than Chisora, Tackle, all them other motherfuckers he was fighting. But, Joshua, he was never really that good. And all it seemed to take is a real boxer. That's twice, y'all. We got to read the tea leaves. We got to read them. That's twice in his career now that he's fought a more complete boxer and lost. Actually, 3 times. Twice to Usyk, once to Ruiz. And when the fight fell through with Big Baby Miller, Wilder was ready. He could have called Wilder, but he didn't. He didn't. And this is why I say, looking at this fight, I know now. He do fight scared. He's got fear. He let doubt and fear creep in his head. And that's not something to put a man down about. Because I know men don't like to think of themselves as being fearful. But fear is a natural emotion. And it can happen to anybody. If you're human, can have fear. And I think Joshua fights fearful at times, and I think he's hesitant because of his fear. Like his fear of losing. Obviously, he can't take losing. Not 2 times in a row. Maybe he was like, "Oh, well, Ruiz, I had anxiety and this, that, and the other." So, I'm glad he said that instead of mental health issues. But he said he had anxiety and all that, and that can happen to anybody. That ain't even a laughing matter to me. So I rock with him when he said that, and maybe that is why he lost to Ruiz. It's possible. So when he came back, what did he do? He stuck to the game plan. He boxed him. It was Ruiz's fight to lose, and he lost it. He lost it because he didn't train as hard. He got that fat check. He was eating good. He came in sloppy fat, and Joshua handled business. But Joshua didn't even wash Andy Ruiz. He outboxed him. He maintained his composure, and you could tell it was all he could do. Somebody like Usyk that don't get into the fanfare and get into all the hoopla, as he said, he stay humble. He stay humble because he don't want to get the big head and go through this, that, and the other. And by the way, I heard they both made $75 million apiece. Ain't that some shit? So I guess they was 50-50. So, Joshua didn't mind taking 50-50 with no belts, but he damn sure ain't gonna give 50-50 when he got the belts. But Usyk said, whatever. $75 million, Shawty. I know Usyk like, I'm good. I'm good for the rest of my life. That money probably spends hella well in Ukraine. I hope Usyk put his shit up. Don't be trying to get, because that government can spend it in the blink of an eye. Put your shit up, Usyk. Put your money up. You ain't doing nothing but getting older. But Joshua got exposed as an ordinary fighter, as I always knew he would. But when he threw the belts out the ring, that was just tacky. All that talking, trying to save face, shorty, you lost. It's okay. He really don't have nothing to be ashamed of because he really tried. You can tell he tried. He's robotic. He's stiff. Don't know how to do angles. He doesn't know how to move them damn big ass legs and place some feet. He need to lose weight. So he has a beautiful physique, beautifully shaped, handsome man. Don't get me wrong, but for his career, he don't need to be as big as he is because it limits him. That's the only reason why. If he could move with all that weight and muscle on him, that'd be one thing. But he can't. He got short, compacted muscles compared to the people that he fighting. And he not fluid in his movement. Then let me get to Figueroa, and then I'm going to drop the link. I said it, and I said it, and I said it. The Figueroa brothers cannot fight worth a damn. I be telling y'all that. The Benavidez too. The only thing they got that you really can't say, they got heart. Don't get me wrong. They always had that heart. And I'm sure they got power of some kind. But you will never, ever train anybody to fight like them. You would be doing a boxer a disservice to allow them to keep training like that. Figueroa fought the same way, always fought, but slower. He's lacking. And he's 32 years old. Father Time waits for no one. Father Time is undefeated. And that's the problem Figueroa got. And if his brother paying attention, who's 7 years younger than him, he better go back to the drawing board talking about Brandon Figueroa, because that's going to be him in 7 years. Figueroa had to retire. in the damn ring. He was slow. His reflexes was gone. His agility. I can't stand the way them two fight. They got swimmers' bodies. And believe it or not, that's good for boxing to a certain extent. What I can't figure out, and it's to their advantage, them long motherfucking arms. And how they be bending them shits. Them long gorilla arms. They be fucking bending them shits and hitting, they can fight in the inside and out. But they're not boxers. And I don't know why nobody never told them this. They know how to stand. I know they know boxing fundamentals, but they don't execute it. And I always say he's a classic example of you do what you practice. How this nigga gonna change if this is all he been allowed to do? Nobody tells him you kind of wrong for this. All he want to do is lay on you. That's all he knows is to step forward, throw a bunch of punches to keep you busy, take a couple of shots, and lay on you. This thing they do with their hand, where they turn their head, who the fuck taught them that bullshit? And they try to roll with fucking punches. Ridiculous. Lipinets looked great Saturday night. He did. He stood his ground. That's what you do to a person like that. There's a couple of things you can do. You can make their ass pick up their feet and make them work the whole time they in that ring. Or you can stand your ground at times and don't let them push you back. Because for Figueroa's, both him and his brother, them pushing you back to the ropes, that's their game. That's all they know. That's different from Errol Spence. Errol come forward. He's a come forward pressure fighter. Whether you're on the ropes or in the middle of the ring, he's coming forward. So it might not be smart to just stand in front of Errol and trade shots with him. But the Figueroas, don't let them push you back. And I saw the muscling contest, when they grip each other and try to throw each other around or whatever. Nigga would look weak. He looked weak. And guess what? He's a drinker or was a drinker. I said that shit catch up with you. Just because you decide in midstream, okay, I ain't gonna drink no more. As if you're not gonna pay for your past aggressions. You gonna pay for that shit, and you gonna pay for it dearly. And that's what we saw with Figueroa. He was slow. He don't got no reflexes, no agility. He squared up the whole time. Easy picking for a real boxer like Lipinets. Easy. And Lipinets might not be elite. I don't know. He ain't far from it. Yeah, Boots beat his ass, but Lipinets had no business at 147. It's a legitimate win for Boots. But, that's the type of man Lipinets is. He dared to dream. He gonna go fight. He one of my favorite fighters, too. I like him. That motherfucker all about business, and he trying to be the best that he can be. But he stood his ground. And wherever Figueroa made mistakes, he made them pay. Like that first knockdown, wasn't that crazy? He hit him with his right on the other side of his cheek. Because of all that turning to the side and shit that Figueroa and them do. Figueroa had to admit at the end, he must don't got it. But drinking would do that to you. I don't mean to kick the dude down. I hope I ain't sound like I'm kicking him while he down. But if you drinking, you drinking. And you knew when you started this career, that was a no-no. You shouldn't be. Everybody who want to copy Floyd Mayweather, copy that shit. Don't drink, don't smoke. I almost broke into a Billy Idol song. Let me catch myself. Anywho, I'll drop this link, but that's what I saw this weekend. Y'all tell me what y'all thought. Like I said, Joshua, going back to Joshua, That was an interesting fight. And Usyk won by outboxing. Like I said, I caught it from the 6 rounds up, and it was like pity patting a lot. When I caught it, I was like, "What kind of shit is this?" Like, it didn't really feel like a hardcore fight. But I've yet to go back and watch the first 5 rounds, but I need to. And I said, getting Robert Garcia is not going to help him. When I talk about Joshua being exposed, okay, excellent fighter, not elite. No, he didn't need a new trainer either. He didn't need one. It was him all along. Oh, what's poppin', King? What you got on?
What's going on, Miss T? Salute to you. You've been gone for a minute. Now she back. The queen is back.
I know. I'm a bag.
How everything? How's
Hey,
everything?
that's like I said, needless to say, I won't be going to nobody fights. All the thousands of dollars rolled out of
I,
my
I
hand.
I I know. I heard you. I was hearing you say something about the. You had to get some stuff taken care of. I've been in and out. I ain't been consistent, so I know you. That's why I asked. You said something about the AC and stuff,
Ooh, Lord.
and the dog and all that shit. Yeah,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
Mitzi, that shit is expensive, man.
Hell yeah. But my daughter ready to throw her whole credit card. I'm like, girl.
I
But I feel
already
you.
know.
They've been with us so long, and they like
Yeah.
a part of the family. But and I still haven't gotten over 4 years ago me putting down our cat, but I had to for his sake. He
Oh
had a
yeah.
paralyzed larynx that he got because bullshit. They didn't when you take your pets in, they're gonna run a million tests instead of
Yeah.
getting to the nook and cranny. And then
Yeah.
by the time they get to the nook and cranny, you didn't exasperate all your money, so you don't
Yep.
have money to get what need to get done. And that's kind of what was going on with my cat. I wound up taking him to the base, and they didn't have this instrument they needed to go down in his throat, so they
Uh huh.
did it with their hand. They pulled out all this stuff
Oh.
because he was eating a whole bunch of like our hair ties and parts of the Christmas tree, and he couldn't. Cat stomachs are very sensitive, and it wouldn't go
Right.
out the back. And so they say if he catches pneumonia, I was taking him in every week. I think I went through 3,000 that month. I was taking him in
Damn.
every week to get hydrated. He went from like 17 pounds to like 8 pounds a month.
God
That's a month.
damn.
Yeah, and he had his mouth open. He was drooling. If you know that you ain't never seen a cat with their mouth open and drooling, that's a
Uh.
terrible sign. And he
Yeah.
caught pneumonia, and I said I had to put him down for his own sake.
Damn, man.
And they gave me a paw print and a card and all that, but
Okay.
I still haven't gotten over. I see his pictures, and my
Yeah.
daughter named him Simba, so I be called, oh, Simbalicious. That's what I used to call him.
That's what's up.
So
Yeah,
her
man. That's
dogs was the
crazy.
one that, and we had the dogs longer than we had the cat. He was just two when I put him down, but these dogs been with us for years. They at the end of their life, but he ready, like I said, she ready to throw the card at him. I was like, hold up now.
Hey, hold up now. Hold. Pump your brakes.
Yeah, but I still had to drop down.
Yeah.
I had to show
Yeah.
I care, and I do care, but God damn.
Yeah. I know. I know. I
Mm-mm.
know. That shit crazy, man. That's crazy. Well, I didn't know what was going on, and I was hoping everything was all right with you and stuff like that. So, I didn't, know what was going on because
Hey,
I hadn't
oh,
talked to you. I hadn't jumped on with you since I think last week, early last week.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That because that last day I was here, it was hot as shit. I didn't know the air conditioner had broke that day. I'm gonna tell
Oh,
y'all
okay.
something. When y'all have a product that you need fixing, repair, service, like your air conditioner, like your roof, or like whoever, like you already got the product. I'm not saying nothing bad about people who work for commission. That's a worthwhile thing. So don't come for me, folks, who work commission. Like, what the fuck you talking about? But
Right.
anybody who work for commission, who's coming to fix on, repair, or service something you already have, not sell you something. Because when you buy your car, that guy working on commission probably, that's different. You
Right.
never had that content, you get it. But if you already have something and somebody come to your house to fix on something and they work for commission, run the other way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I wish
Because
somebody would have told me that.
I know we have uh my wife, she be taking care of all the people. I'm the one that's just pay for everything, but we got people that we got, because we got that home warranty thing, and just like our water heater had burst, but the thing that messed up on it was it was the gas valve or something like that, and I think it wasn't covered up on. Now, if the whole water heater would have bust, then the warranty would have took care of it. But that was a part, and somebody was talking about the part wasn't covered or some bullshit they gave us. So I had to end up, paying them to come out here and put that part back so we can have some hot water and stuff. And this is a brand new house. So I'm thinking like, what the fuck? We ain't been in this house but a year and a half. This neighborhood was just built. So I'm thinking like, damn, and on top of that, in the old house, we had AC, our outside unit, the heat pump outside had done messed up and stuff. So, we had to pay them. So when you, man, let me tell you something. When you got the house, man, you got people, man, you got it's stuff. It seemed like shit just started happening. All kind
Yeah.
of stuff that go start going.
Especially if you don't know. So let me ask you this. Did you register all your appliance when you bought the house?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Again, that's another thing. This is my first house, y'all. I've been in here since 2011. Brand new when I bought it, brand spanking new. And I didn't do a lot of shit. If you don't register your appliance when you move in the house, you take away about 5 years of warranty off your shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a little simple shit like that.
Yeah, that shit crazy, man. It's just crazy, with all that. You have to do make sure all that is taken care of. You know what I'm saying? You'll be around here looking crazy for real. You have to make sure all that shit is taken care of. All that shit is registered and everything.
And ain't nobody gonna tell you this shit.
Nah, they're not gonna tell
And I
you.
don't understand all these people I know that got homes. This was my first home. Ain't nobody tell me shit. And
Right.
then look, dude charged me. You know what I'm talking about when I say the AC unit, they got safety precautions on it. So like if it break down or something, because it's the air conditioning, the unit in the inside freeze. I'm talking about the one in the attic.
Yeah.
Because it is cut, it has a shut off valve.
Mhm.
That freezing will turn into water, of course, and fall in the drip pan
Yeah,
and
that
cut the whole
condensation.
shit off, right?
Yep. Mhm.
But you got a drainage pipe. So
Yep.
you can take a shop vac, go outside on the side where that shit drip, put the hose around that bitch and unclog your drains, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That motherfucker charged me $400 to do that. This is the
Damn.
first school that came out.
Yeah, we used to have to do that because I used to work for an apartment complex back in the day, and then we had to do we did our work inside. So somebody AC unit go down and stuff, we had to replace the unit, the heat pump outside and stuff. And most times it wasn't nothing that was going. They'd be like, my air. They'll call us like we'll be on call or something. They'll be like, my air don't went out. But it's not necessarily the air don't went out. It's just like they condensation lines don't got clogged and stuff, and
Yeah.
it shuts off the unit and stuff. Like they don't know that, so we just go in there and get that condensation and shit out there, clean out the lines and stuff like that, and it started working perfectly. You know what I'm saying? We'll charge it up with some Freon and everything. So yeah, they be A1 after that, but they thinking it's a drastic thing, and we coming now, we ain't out less than 30 minutes, knocking
Then,
that shit out.
then dude charged me. I was like, I can't fix both. Just do one. 'Cause I got an upstairs one and a downstairs. The
uh
prices he was telling me, I was like, oh man, I need AC though. So
right.
just fix one. So he goes outside and open the one in the back. And he said, I gotta replace acid or some shit like that. I ain't found out that
He
damn
told
thing.
you he had replaced what?
A capacitor.
Oh, okay, 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 Okay.
My friend told me it was a $10 to $15 part.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
motherfucker charged me
Yeah.
$400 to replace. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
I'm
They
like, he
gon'
was getting me. And
Yeah.
then,
Yeah. They gonna charge the shit out you.
then he wired the thing backwards, 2 wires. He put them
That's it.
on
That's it.
backwards.
That's it.
So
That's all.
so the
That's a capacitor.
motherfucking,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
fan went backwards. So when he kept trying to tell me that I needed a new TXV, an expansion valve, and that
Mm.
shit, he was like $1,600, but he don't
Oh,
have it today. He was trying to
he
get me
just
to wire
going
the
up.
shit backwards.
Ooh.
So he said your house will be down because it was 90 degrees. So he took it
Yeah.
from 90 to like 82 degrees. That's still hot. But he said you
Yeah.
ain't got no proper AC.
That's
Man,
crazy.
my friend said, fuck that shit. Call somebody else. I called somebody else, and dude came out, and he went to the unit first, and he
Mm.
looked in there. He said, "Oh, he had that. Why did he wire it backwards?" As soon as he rewired it, just switching wires to the right post, man, I could feel the AC instantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he was trying to get me. I said, "Are those suspension valves broken? Either one?" Because I got the second dude fix everything. Because I noticed I was getting taken for a ride, and
Yeah.
I had
And
to let
then
you go.
he see you a woman. Oh,
Yep.
am I echoing? What?
Nah, you good?
Oh, 'cause I can hear myself. Okay, yeah, he see that you're a woman, you know what I'm saying? And the most time that's why I try to, I try to tell my wife too, like, like I know the dude that we get our car, we go up to that, we get our car fits and stuff from and stuff like that. But before me and her, before me and her, she used to go and get cars done herself. And when they see a woman, man, they feel like, oh shit, this the time cause they gonna tell you a bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? That they feel like, oh, she don't know anyway, so I'm gonna charge shit out of her. But she know that she need to get this car, this AC or whatever in your house
Mhm.
fixed. So you gonna pay it. You know what I'm
'Cause
saying?
they know women be desperate. We do.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We be like, just fix it.
Yeah, see, cause you ain't gonna get me like that. I'm gonna be like, hey, dude, no, I mean, I'm good, bro. If you try and charge me that for that, I know where I can get that part from. Now, when you start talking to them like that, they know you know your shit. So then they'll be like, then I say, oh, no, I just go somewhere else. I'm good. They'll be like, well, let me look and see, can I find something else for you? Then when they start talking like they got some sense. But if they know they can get you on the first go round, shoot you some bullshit, and you'll go
Mhm.
for it. Oh man, they gonna get you all day, especially a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
A woman coming up by herself. Oh man,
yes.
come on, come on.
And
That's
I would suggest people use your local. They got local mom and pop like people who fix things.
mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to use them because a lot of times they work by the hour. You want somebody, at least for your AC unit, to be working for the company they work for and getting
Right,
paid by the hour because they don't have no skin in the game. It
right,
don't do them any good to charge you more or whatever, or lie to you or whatever. But somebody on commission, and if you call around, because I was calling everybody, you call around, and once I had the diagnostic done, I know what the problem is because this is what the guy was telling me. So I said, I tried to ask him how much to do this job. They wouldn't tell me.
yeah.
When people be like that, because they don't want you to shop around. The guy who wound up fixing everything, he said, look, I'm gonna tell you right now. They don't want you to shop around and compare prices. And that's wrong.
No, they don't.
And he said, and if they working for commission, they're not gonna make money unless they make money off of you.
Yeah, they gotta make money off you. That's why they trying to sell you all this bullshit, tell you this, that, and the third is wrong, and they're gonna raise the price on you on everything. So they're gonna tell you shit wrong that ain't even you know what I'm saying, ain't even the problem. They're gonna fabricate some shit and tell you this, that, and the third. And then you know what I'm saying, so that's gonna be the problem. Like, oh, this, that, and third. They know you're a woman, so you're gonna pretty much be like, oh man, you're gonna panic and you're gonna be like, oh, I can for real? Are you serious? And then
Yes.
you know what I'm saying, now they got you. Oh man, you're gonna
Yeah.
panic and you're gonna be like, what?
He tell your stuff down, Jerry. He got
That's
me.
done.
Well, what I'm gonna tell you like this. He got that first guy got me. I would say the equivalent of me doing a round trip ticket to Vegas with the hotel room. He got me.
God damn.
I'm gonna laugh at it because it's a life lesson learned. I just gotta take it. But I
Right.
did call dude and told his boss, and his boss said he gonna refund me. I haven't yet to see it yet, but he said he gonna refund me some stuff because I was like, yo, and I was pleasant. I didn't talk
Yeah.
to him rough or go off or anything. I just said, I talked to him like, won't nothing gonna happen. He won't go do nothing for me. I just thought you should know that I know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't make me
Yeah.
report you to Consumer Protection Agency. And better yet, we all these people around where I live, retired military, active duty, or work on the base. I'll report your ass to the base, and you'll get on that "don't fuck with them" list.
They know that's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They know they trying to that shit just like a scam, man. And I hate when people do shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because me personally, I'm a genuine person. You know what I'm saying? If I can look out for somebody, even if I'm working for commission, I'm not gonna try to do that to you. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like me, I'm a person of faith. I don't feel like my blessings or none of that stuff will come if I'm trying to take advantage of somebody else. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
my thing is, man, I'm not gonna do that. And I hate when people do that shit. They try to take advantage of people and stuff like that. That's not cool. You know what I'm saying? That shit is not right, man.
I ain't rich, but Jared came in. I'm gonna give you a chance extra. What you got on them fights this weekend?
Man, let me
Jared,
tell you, let me tell you, because I know Miss Jerry want to chop it up. So
Let's
I know he
go.
got his say so. But hey, what's up, Miss Jerry?
What's up, bro? Hey,
Oh,
man.
okay. But no, man. Like I told them just like in the first fight and shit. Like he don't ran and got Robert Garcia and all that bullshit. But what I said, okay, he had some. And this is the thing with AJ. You know what I'm saying? And I knew he wasn't gonna win that fight because to me personally, he just can't beat Usyk. Usyk give him too many looks. You know what I'm saying? He got, he give him too many angles and all that stuff. Got good footwork and stuff like that. And Usyk keep him, but it was crazy because Usyk wasn't moving as much this fight right here as he was the first fight. And AJ had some success going to the body. I don't know why he didn't continue that. Like it was like he hurt Usyk a couple times to the body. If you saw the expression on Usyk, he hurt Usyk, but he just didn't let his hands go. He'll do a couple shots to the body, but then he'll fall back. You know what I'm saying? Then he get Usyk a chance to recover and all that. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You see, you have success. His corner should have told him, you got to do more. You got to do more of that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only thing that you are having success with. Because Usyk's gonna move. He gonna give you head movement. He gonna give you different looks. He gonna give you all that. He gonna pivot. He gonna give you angles and all that stuff like that. But this fight right here, Usyk was there to be hit more so than he was the first fight. He was
yeah,
moving a lot more the first fight, and so that's the difference I seen. And I was like, and AJ want to finally let his hands all the way go in the ninth round. It's like he was trying to just say, fuck it, I'm go out on my sword. I'm just gonna swing. And he was swinging. He was catching Usyk on some shit. But at
yeah,
the
he
same
was.
time, yeah. But at the same time, Mitty, I was just like, you wasn't doing enough. You sitting there and then with that high guard, Usyk using that pro jab just to he punching through that shit, that pro jab and shit like that, and you sitting there, you know what I'm saying? You on your back foot. Usyk got you on the back foot as usual. You know what I'm saying? And you're the bigger guy. You're the bigger guy. So why are you not taking the offense to him? You know what I'm saying? But it's just like I don't know what's going on with AJ, man. I don't know. I can't figure it out to save my life. But it was just like to me. It was confusing because it was like this is the same. This is similar to the first fight. Now he did better this fight than he did better this fight than he did the first fight. I give him that. He was better. But the things that he was having success with, he wasn't doing enough of. So that's the way I looked at that, as that. And before I get off, as far as Figueroa, see, he was prepared for somebody like AB who was gonna throw two to three punches around. He didn't know,
Mm-hmm.
when he got switched up with somebody like Lipinets. You going from a pistol to a damn machine gun. One thing about Lipinets, he gonna let them hands go, and he go.
He a more complete fighter too.
He's a more complete fighter.
Exactly.
So you thought you was gonna be in there with AB and you was gonna be able to, because AB ain't gonna throw but so many punches around. He ain't gonna throw about 4-5 punches around, and he gonna
Real
dance
talk
to do all
though.
this.
Real talk. If AB was to catch him like Lipinets did, I think he would have hurt him worse. But that's
Yeah,
if he throw his hands.
right. If he throw his hand, but that's the thing, Miss C, he's not gonna throw his hands. That's the thing with AB. You know what I'm saying? So that was the thing. He wasn't. Then he got switched out with somebody that was, you know what I'm saying, that was more that was worse. As far as throwing hands, Lippin is gonna let them damn hands go, and now you don't sit up there and got your ass whooped.
Got his ass whooped.
So that's all I gotta say. But that's all I want to say with AJ though. I just thought that he had some. If you saw Usyk the look on his face when he was getting hit with those body shots,
That's
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he got hurt to the body a couple times, but AJ wasn't doing enough of that. And it was like, dude, why are you letting up? Why are you letting up? You know what I'm saying? Press him. Shit, you gon' and I think with AJ, he scared. He don't like taking shots and shit. He don't like taking chances. Because once he get hit, you can see the look on his face if he hurt or something like that, and
he
okay,
fight
AJ
with
don't.
fear.
Yeah, he fight with fear. There you go.
Mhm.
And so that's the thing. So that's what I seen. But I think that this fight he did do better than the first fight,
Yeah.
but it still wasn't enough.
Yeah. And I would say before we go to Jerry, it was never that he needed a new trainer talking about AJ. It was him all along. Robert
Yeah.
Garcia, I maintain that was not gonna bring nothing new for AJ. I don't even know why he picked Robert Garcia in the first place. But no, he wasn't going. And I'm not knocking Robert Garcia. It is. I'm gonna say this, and Jared, don't get upset. Robert Garcia stick to his own, and ain't nothing wrong with that. He just do. He seemed to favor his own. And if you look at the boxers that he come, it's all Mexicans, and you're like a fish out of water. And you're gonna try. I would say that if it was a black trainer who only trained black fighters, and you coming in and you're non-black, and you think you're gonna fit in, it's a reason. If you about boxing and you all just want to train just boxers, you know, it's one thing to be in an urban city or where you at your gym, ain't nothing but a certain group of people there. It's another thing when you got money to be able to train any and all people, and you stick to your own, which is not wrong on Robert's part. But Robert wasn't going to bring nothing to AJ.
And it's a mindset too, also, Miss T. It's a mindset too. It's a mindset that you have to bring that I think AJ, when people call AJ, when they say that when they say that he don't have heart, I don't agree with it. I think AJ has heart. It's that we question his dog mentality. The
Mm-hmm.
fact that that you got to put it all out on the line. We can say a whole lot of things about Deontay Wilder, but Deontay Wilder gonna go out on his fucking sword. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to
Exactly.
knock his ass out. And see, that's what I don't think.
Exactly.
That's what I don't think willing to happen with AJ, and that's why I say it's a mindset. AJ might have had a plan going into that, but when he took them damn shots and shit like that, he turned back. He resorted back to his old self, and that's what
He
that
was
was.
struggling.
Yeah,
Even in the parts that he did good, the parts that he wasn't when he was getting tagged and boxed, even if it wasn't hard punches, he was struggling to stay in the fight, in my opinion, because the moves, the skills that Usyk was giving him, he didn't really have an answer. But I'm gonna let Jared get in here because I know Jared anxious to. Jared, what you got on it?
What's happening now?
What's good? What's good, Jared?
Where you been at? I ain't seen you for a minute.
I had some issues over here.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
AC problems, dog problems, all kind of stuff. Like I said, needless to say, I won't be going to nobody fight no time soon.
Right. Well, yeah. I watched the fights. AJ, I seen a difference in AJ. He made adjustments in this fight, and he did better. I could see where Robert Garcia did make a difference, a tactical difference. AJ was standing his ground more, and he was doing better. And in the what was it, the eighth, ninth round, he started going to the body around the fifth round, and he was getting to Usyk. And by the eighth round, he was really getting to his body. Um, but the simple thing is a couple simple things with AJ. AJ, much like Frank Bruno, is a big muscle bound dude, and he struggles with two things. One, his chin is not the best chin in boxing. I wouldn't say he has a weak chin, but we've seen that his crust can get cracked. and he has stamina issues.
Mm.
Now, they're not the worst stamina issues in the world, especially for a guy his size, that heavily muscled, but he walks a fine line, just like Frank Bruno, between what his activity rate will be and how vulnerable he will be on the back end of that. And that's a very tight rope to walk, because people say, well, he should have pressed, he should have pressed. The reason he didn't do that is because that reason right there alone. One, if he presses, he stands the chance of getting clipped like he did against Ruiz. But equally as important is he stands the chance to gas himself out and become real vulnerable. So in the end, it was a polite little boxing match, really. It never really turned into a fight. It was very tactical throughout. And simply put, Usyk is just a little bit better than he is. He
I
didn't
would
whoop
say
his
a
ass.
lot better.
Yeah, well, I mean, to me, it was a competitive fight. He never knocked him down. He didn't whoop his ass. He just basically outboxed him using angles. He didn't put much power on any of his shots, Usyk. And if the division was any deeper, he would have to start punching a little bit harder, I think, Usyk. He's going to have to start sitting down on his punches a little bit here and there, because while Joshua has to walk that tightrope and not overly exert himself, there are going to be other fighters, you know, especially if the division was strong, that going to have a little bit more fortitude and not have that stamina issue, and going to be able to work with him a little bit better. Um, I do disagree about Robert Garcia. I mean, Customato trained Mike Tyson, and they were worlds apart. He was an old white dude, and Tyson was a young black guy from the ghetto. Ray Leonard, same thing, trained by his longtime trainer. Uh, I seen a difference in Anthony Joshua, but it just wasn't enough to beat Usyk. But if you look at all the all the heavyweight champions, Lennox Lewis, he had what, two losses to Oliver McCall. He lost to Asim Rockman. Klitschko lost to uh, uh,
Theory.
yeah, he lost to the big white guy from South Africa. He lost to uh, the Atomic Bull. Um, you know, Tyson lost to Holyfield and Lennox and Buster. I mean, so, AJ, he is what he is.
But
I still,
do you think that Usyk was war torn? Because a lot of people don't realize when them guys come from the war, you be running on adrenaline over there, and when you come out of it, it's like your body go do 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 do.
And that's a thing I wanted to say too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's the thing I saw too. Usyk was more gas in this
Mhm.
fight than he was the first fight, and I was thinking that it had to do with what was going on, with the war and stuff like that. I know I'm interested
yeah,
to hear what Mr. Jerry got to say.
no, I mean, it's fair to think that he might have been a little distracted, of course, but I think also it was in body shots. It was in body shots, and
Mhm.
and the fact that AJ had a higher work rate in this fight. It wasn't a lot higher, but it was a little higher. So you add, the fact that AJ's throwing more punches and he is touching the body, that'll slow you down a little bit. But, in the end, like after AJ had that big round, the eighth and ninth round, the very next round, Usyk came out and had his biggest round.
Mhm.
And that, I think, that was going into the championship rounds. And that it's felt doomed. I mean, to me, it was a competitive fight. And Usyk's just a little bit better than he is. And that's that. But if Usyk fights Fury, I got to favor Tyson Fury,
Oh, I'm a
because
favorite
Tyson,
Fury. Yeah,
yeah, he's not AJ. He knows how to keep you on the outside. And then if you do get on the inside, he knows what to do, leaning
with that
on you and
big
chin.
ass body on you and wear you
Yeah,
Yeah.
down. Yeah,
yeah.
and
But see,
and
Usyk's bravado makes me pick him between Tyson and Usyk. Y'all
I
shot.
think it would be a boring fight with a lot of like Fury like mauling him,
yeah.
smothering him. And now I would like Usyk's chances a little better. And now that he's grown in, he looks like a pretty thick, good size heavyweight
Yeah.
now. I'd like to see him start like take a book from Tyson's Go watch Tyson's clips. When you get on the inside, rip three punch combo. Don't just tap and spin out and act like Lomachenko fighting at heavyweight. Get in there and let them shots rip. That would be his only chance against Tyson Fury, because otherwise, I just can't see him overcoming that tremendous height and reach advantage, coupled with Fury's know-how on what to do. And from a boxing perspective.
And it is a lot to overcome, because you got to think, Usyk, I say Usyk Fury, with him, his 6'9", his 85-inch reach, his his just big body, his 280-pound body, he can just lay on you and tire you out. And then if he want to just work you from the outside, keep you on the outside of his jab, he got an 85-inch reach. Fury can jab the shit out you. He can jab the shit out you and work that jab all night. So he got good footwork for him to be a 300-pound guy. He has good footwork. He can move. And,
Reginald P just said, "What's up, Miss T? What's up, King?" But my question to both of y'all is, they both are movers. They both fight on angles, pivot, and all this stuff, and they could do it the whole fucking fight. Both of them. Tyson and Usyk. I look at Usyk like he could be a sharker like Javante. Javante is short, but yet he be housing motherfuckers. Why? Because his arms are shorter, he's shorter, but it doesn't matter if you tall, he's gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? And I give Usyk that advantage, or because of the way he move and because he can box so well. I give him that slight advantage with Tyson Fury. Yes, Tyson's bigger, but it's not gonna. I don't think the game plan for Tyson would be come in real heavy. What y'all think?
But what I say to that though, Miss T, is the fact that he has he can move. He can't now. For him to be 300 pounds, as big as he is, he can move well for his size. He's not moving like Usyk. Usyk is the Lomachenko or the heavyweight division. He's not moving like Usyk, but he don't have to. Because he can use his physical attributes to take advantage of that whole fight. If he wants to, he know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? And he's the type of guy that he uses his size in every fight. You know how Tyson Fury works, and not only that, he got fast hands. Tyson Fury, for him to be as big as he is, man, he's very mobile, and his hands are fast for to be as big as he is. I'm not saying he got the fastest hands in the world, but he does have fast hands, and he got a nice jab. That's why I'm saying with that 85-inch reach, Miss T, he can keep you on the out. He can play with you. He can mess around with you all night. You're gonna have to try to get on the inside when it comes to Fury. And if you get on the inside, that's when you might be in trouble, because that's when he start working, get that putting that body on you and stuff. So it's a thing. He'll clinch.
That's it exactly. Usyk has no choice but to get close to Fury. Otherwise, he can't hit him. And the only thing can happen is Fury can hit him because of that tremendous height and reach advantage. So Usyk has to get on the inside against Fury. But the problem is, he serves a little bit of danger trying to get there, although he probably, with his angles, he probably can get in there. But if he gets in there and he lets loose with some powder punches, that ain't going to do much. And Tyson will just tie him right up, lean on him. And when you got a big man like that leaning on you, Ali was a master of that. And oftentimes Ali, he wouldn't even always be the bigger guy, but he would pull your head down and lean on you, dumbass. And until the ref says, no. And if you ever wrestle with anybody or anything like that, when you got someone leaning on the back of your neck, that shit don't feel right. It makes your back stiffen up. It makes your legs get stiff. Mm-hmm. And early in the fight, when you're feeling strong, you might not think about it too much. But as the rounds wear on, after 4 or 5 rounds of that big motherfucker laying on you like that, you're gonna feel that. Plus his power, Tyson Fury, his power has improved in the last 5 fights. He's setting down on the punches a little bit more. And someone taught him how to punch a little bit harder. He still doesn't punch as big as he looks, but a big guy like that, he's going to be able to punch pretty hard anyway.
Hold
You
on one
know.
second, y'all. Hold on one second. I'm gonna get these two chats. I gotta change my dog's pamper. Can y'all hold it down after I get
Yeah.
these two chats? So
Yeah.
Reginald said, "What's going on, bro?" And he said, "Fury is one of 6'9" white guys who move like a middleweight in boxing IQ and iron chin and power. Usyk don't have a chance but lucky punch." I don't know, Reginald. I don't know. I think he do, but y'all hold it down for me 1 second. Give me like 2 minutes to go change her pampers.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
yeah,
we
we're
got
gonna
it.
go.
Very much
Me and Jerry, me and Mr. Jerry gonna chop it up. You're gonna chop it up. So yeah, Mr. Jerry, I actually think with that fight right there, yes, Usyk's frame, his size and stuff like that gives him the advantage. That's what I was saying, telling Miss T, like, yeah, Usyk can move and like he still can move like a cruiserweight, like he was a cruiserweight and stuff, but Tyson Fury can move for him to be as big as he is. He's very agile. He's very agile.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
but it's like you said, in that fight and in a lot of Fury's fights, he doesn't really have to do the work. The other guy has to do the work because he can hit you from across the ring with that
Mhm.
jab and just keep you outside and just fuck you up all night long. And from a tactical standpoint, and he knows how to do it. You know,
Right, right.
if I was sex trainer, man, I'd sit him down in front of a whole library of Tyson fights, and I tell him, man, watch this guy. Watch how
Mhm.
he's punching in combinations with speed
Right.
and power. You gotta put a little bit more power on your shots because you're gonna have to work to get inside on
Yeah.
him. And when you do, if your hands ain't moving, he's gonna grab
He
you and tie
he's gonna
you up.
clinch. Yep.
Yeah, and he's gonna do that shit all night long. And the only thing's gonna happen is you're gonna get hit with the jab on the outside. He will sneak shot you when you're trying to get in. You're gonna catch some heat there too,
Hmm.
and then he's gonna lay on you, man. And he's just gonna beat you over a 12 round distance. If I think Usyk will probably make it that far, uh, providing he doesn't get caught. But if Usyk stands a chance against Tyson, he's gotta punch with more power and faster. Pop, pop,
Yeah.
pop.
Yeah.
Just like Tyson used to do. You know,
Hmm.
and then
Hmm.
move out, and then spin out on your angles. This fight last weekend was a boxing match. It was
Right.
polite than a motherfucker. I mean, it was just, you know, I mean, both of them really. I mean, you expect
What
Joshua
what
to
what
maybe
what
try to.
What you think about Joshua though, Mr. Jerry? What you Because I didn't think that he had a I think he tried to do 1-2 combos, but I don't think he had a consistent jab. And the jab that he was throwing, it didn't have any pop to it. It was just like a little jab, just a little bullshit jab. It didn't have no pop to it. So that was I was like, damn, he don't have any pop to his jab. It's just like it's a little weak jab and he's throwing and shit. I don't know what was your thought on his offensive game, as far as AJ
It
go.
looked to me. It looked to me like he was trying to maybe think that if he made it close, he'd get the decision
Mm.
because he's such a big ticket item. I mean, I'm just
Oh man.
speculating there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I thinking, and I thinking that he was thinking that's why you seen that ninth round. He was trying to go hard in the championship round. He turned it up in the championship in the ninth round, but it seemed like Usyk came back in the 10th round, and he was back to his old self. It's like, but if you see Miss, if you look at that, well, I know you looked at it, but you saw that fight, Miss Jerry. I was like, at times I was like, damn, AJ got Usyk. He got him now. He got him hurt. He got him. So, but then Usyk come back in the next round, and it's like he's a different Usyk. He get back. He back to his old self. I'm like,
Or
what the
Yeah.
even in the
fuck?
same round. Let me get some of these chats. Reginald Peters said Fury is the best heavyweight champion since Lewis. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
PTH Big Dog
He good.
salute. He said salute Queen T. Salute to you, sir. Reginald said the fight is boring. 12 unanimous decision Fury. And then he said Fury hit hard with both hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got
AJ
he
is
got
a good
underrated
fighter.
power.
He beat some good fighters. I don't know if y'all heard me when I first came on. I picture AJ and always have as an okay, excellent fighter. I've never looked at him as an elite fighter, and I just didn't see it because I've always seen his hesitation. He's robotic. He's stiff. Them fucking muscles is too much for him. You know how you can clearly look at somebody who has a lot of compact muscles, and in track and
Hmm.
field, you say, "Oh, you're not going to do well with running long distance, or you're not going to do well as a swimmer." Well,
Yeah.
even in boxing, even though if that's your natural physique to look like that, then I'm not going to put that jacket on you. But if you made yourself like that, because I seen little boy pictures of AJ, he didn't have to be that goddamn big, but he made
Right.
himself big. It's either here or there, but the muscles are a deterrence for him when he fighting certain type of fighters.
Hmm. Yeah,
That's how I
yeah,
see it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that and yeah, that is true. That is true. But my thing is, and like I say with AJ Miss T, because it's fighters that had muscles and stuff, and they can still, they can move, they can. I just it's AJ is who he is, but at the same time, a lot of his shit is mindset. Like I
Yeah,
say,
mental.
when it
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, when he had Usyk hurt, and that that's the time to go for the kill and stuff like that. It's a mind. All his stuff is mindset. It's mindset. It's just like he can
I
he.
agree. I agree that it's mindset, definitely, and it's documented that AJ has had performance anxiety before. But if you know that you got a propensity to gas, that's a scary
Yeah.
dichotomy in a boxing ring, because the more you put out, the more vulnerable you're going to be on the back end. And
Mm,
I think that while he did land some good shots on Usyk, I don't think we should overblow it. I think he knew, you know, he wasn't hurt to the point where it would have been probably advantageous to get reckless and maybe get caught again. Because, like I say, leading back
right.
to my first point, his chin. He
Right.
doesn't have the worst chin and he doesn't have the worst stamina, but he's in his losses. That's what's let him down. He's gotten gassed and
Hmm.
and he's had stamina. And no, he doesn't have a typical boxer's build. The most successful heavyweight champs were like Ali, right around 210,
Right.
212, like Holyfield, Mike Tyson. These big guys, it's rare, rare. You got Klitschko, Lennox Lewis. There's been some, but Anthony Joshua, to me, out of all of those guys, is the most heavily muscled. I mean, he's got
Yeah.
that big, heavy muscle on him that looks like shit. Look, makes me fucking tired. What
But
you
look,
know?
Jared, you kind of saying the same thing I said. I gave an analogy about school. Like, you know how you got the one or two, 1 to 3 people at the top of your class that they get all the A's, they damn near get 100 every time. If they on their worst day it's like a 95. Then you got the mass group of the students that get below like a 94 and to a C. And it's hit or miss. Sometimes they get the 94. Sometimes they get the C and sometimes they get the B. Then you got your
Yeah,
failures and all this stuff. AJ is in that group of mass people. Like, he's okay, he's excellent, but he
Right.
has never, to me, been elite, and that is because it has a lot to do with, to me, his movement or lack thereof and his stamina. Because he do
Hmm.
get tired. He even said it in the ring. I'm not a 12-round fighter.
Yeah. Yeah. He
yeah,
said that shit. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
crazy. When
And we were like,
PGH
yeah,
Big Dog
motherfucker,
said,
we know.
Joshua finally got exposed as a hype job he is. He has stamina issues, robotic, and no killer instinct. PGH, I think we found something me and you agree on. Capson G Full
Uh,
is in the building was Bobby King said salute Queen. Then PGA said, y'all better wake up. Usyk is going to make it hard for Fury. His movement, boxing IQ, and southpaw stance is going to be a challenge. I think so too. Damn, PGH, me and you on the same, we on the same wavelength tonight.
I really think that if Usyk don't get this fight, if Usyk if he doesn't get this fight with Fury, I think he's gonna hang it up. I think he's 35, and I think he want this fight with Fury. But if it's bullshit in the game, Fury say he wants to fight now. He did say he want to fight, so we're gonna see if it's gonna happen. But if Fury just blowing a bunch of how he blow a bunch of
Yeah.
bullshit sometimes. If it is, I think Usyk is gonna be done. I think he's gonna hang it up.
I think Usyk said it. He said,
Yeah,
I want to fight with Fury and nobody else. Done.
yeah,
He said it. He not a
Yeah,
B level heavyweight champion like Parker or Ruiz. Nah, but he could be a low A PGA said, "Hey Queen, you finally on the." You know, me and this guy, we don't never agree to nothing. That's what kind of
Yeah.
Earl Smith and Terrence Crawford. But God damn it, here we are today. Let's mark this day, PGH. We on the
But
same page.
Miss T, let me ask you a question, Miss T, you and Jerry. Ain't y'all excited about boxing right now? Like we got a lot of good shit coming up. It's some good it's some good boxing
Mm.
it's some good boxing coming up, and we've been having consistent boxing as of late. We just can't get the big fight that we want,
What are
but
you talking about? Canelo and Triple
we've
G?
been
God
having we
damn.
got Canelo, Triple G, we got Joe Joyce and Joseph Parker. We got Shakur Stevenson coming up. We got let me see who we got a lot of good shit coming up.
Even the Shakur Stevenson fight with Kaseko, I feel like he gonna win, and
Yeah,
so it's
he
not
gonna
that.
win it, but it's just the
It ain't
fact
that
that
exciting. Joe
yeah,
Joyce, I feel like he gonna beat old boy Joseph Park. He gonna hit him one
mm,
good time. And who else you said? Canelo Triple G. I'm not hype for that one. But I mean,
you got Jamel Charlo and Tim Zoo in January.
oh, what a hey.
Yeah,
Speaking of
that's gonna be a
Charlo,
good thing.
Yeah.
look, I ain't gonna go in depth because I don't know the whole story. But I've been looking at the word on the screen
Boxing
about
is
Charlo. What's good
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Charlo
That's
about that?
that big Charlo though, ain't it? That's not
Yeah, that's
Jamel. That's
big Charlo
Jamal. Yeah,
Jamal.
yeah,
What's the deal with that shit? Because
man.
I ain't seen
Hey,
no tweets that this girl did. Or
he only box like once every 2 damn years or so, something like that. So I'm like, I can see where he's not, probably not taking care of his business. Now I don't know the man business. I'm
yeah,
like you. I just saw the man. Is that his wife or his
that's
girlfriend or
his
whoever she
wife.
is? Okay,
They
that's his
they went
wife.
to high school together. That's his wife. They got
Okay,
5 kids together. It makes
yeah.
you want to rethink. Remember when the Charlo twins were arguing? But what brothers and sisters or brothers don't argue or sisters don't argue? Siblings argue all the time. But remember, Charlo Jamel said some kind of damaging shit to his big brother, and I was like, damn, you said that because he was the first time when I heard that he said you scared of Canelo
But
or you don't
he
want to
always
fight
talk.
him.
Yeah, yeah. He always talking shit to his big. He always talking. He call him out on his bull. Jamel always call him out on his bullshit though, because Jamel said, "I'm not my brother." He'll tell you, he like, "I'm not my brother," and he ain't. He say some dumb shit too. I don't like how Jamel be out there saying crazy shit. But one thing about Jamel, he'll get in that damn ring and fight. Jamel will fight.
Mhm.
Now I don't know what Jamal doing, but Jamel gonna fight.
But Jamal had her arrested. Maybe she do strike, when she upset and all that. And if she did, and he called first, and that was the right thing to do. I ain't gonna
Mm,
knock him for not, putting his hands on her because that's he wasn't supposed to. But then, like a lot of people say, oh, she bitter. Let me tell y'all something, and this from a woman. Women can be bitter, but when women are bitter, just like men can be bitter. But basically, take bitter out of it because that's like a crippling word. But when you mad at somebody, you gonna spill the tea.
right.
When you
Yeah.
that mad at somebody, you get me arrested, nigga, I'm gonna tell all your business.
When you're mad and when you're drunk, you're gonna tell every damn thing.
I'm gonna tell everything. And I promise, if I got something to tell, I ain't gotta lie. I was just like, God damn, the house gonna get foreclosed, or he ain't paying the bills, or he needed to take that for. I don't know what's going on. I hope because
Man,
they're married and they got so many kids that they can get past it, but I don't think he'll ever forgive her for that.
yeah, that shit ain't
Well,
look good.
she catching a lot of hell for speaking out on him. In the wake of this, I seen on a couple other, you know, places on YouTube. She's catching a lot of hell, but if you think about it, and like you say, we don't know their personal business really, but he probably been fucking up for a long, long time before that
Mhm,
woman,
Mm, right.
yeah, finally
mhm,
finally came out and said, probably trying to embarrass him,
mhm.
Hmm.
try because she probably tried many other ways to get him to straighten up, and that because if she was some loose lip vindictive woman, she'd have exposed herself by now
Long
probably.
time ago, yeah. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
plus,
Yeah.
she got 5 kids, y'all.
and they got
I
kids,
know
right?
men like to think. I know men like to think, and there's some women who really do believe this. But for the most part, when I get around women, I know a lot of guys like to say, "What's the order of things? God, your man, and then your kids." Nah, not women. And I would think men think the same way. It is always God if you're a religious person, but it's your kids.
Right.
I don't know
Yeah.
what y'all guys saying. And if you see your kids, so that's what I'm looking at with her. Her kids, she probably see. I ain't gonna say danger, but this shit gonna affect the kids.
Right.
If they gotta leave their house and they don't got nowhere to live, and look how they been acting, who gonna reach out and help? People like to see you when you down, especially if you cause a ruckus on your way up. And so, what's gonna happen with her kids? So
Yeah.
it could be
You
something like
know,
she feeling that.
yeah, that's funny because yeah, your spouse. I mean, I've been with my wife about 30 years, and I love her with all my heart. But during that time, for your spouse, sometimes you build a little hate too. But for your kids, you never build any hate. So you get
Right.
mad at your kids, but it's still all love. But sometimes when you get mad at your spouse, you're like, I hate that motherfucker. You know,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Exactly.
You
yeah,
damn
Like
so
I can
right
tell
about
you,
that.
I'll fight an alligator for mine. I ain't
right.
in this front of no alligator for no dude on this earth. I can
Right.
promise.
Right.
Right. See, and that's the difference. But I think, and I'm just reading into it, but I think she just, trying to embarrass him by putting his business out on Front Street, because typically a good woman wouldn't do that, because his business is her business,
It's her business.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and it's their business. But it smells to me like she done it as a last resort type of thing. Like,
Yeah.
I got to speak out
Seems
to
like that.
somebody because he's fucking everything up. Now,
You
like,
put me in jail over a humbug because we don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, y'all. I don't know if the girl hit because she went to jail for assault or something. I don't know what happened. It's a domestic thing. I can't say who did what, but he got to the police first, and they listened to his story. And see, I can
whoever
see
gets
her just
cold first, other
feeling.
one's going to jail.
Yeah, I can see her fuming and be like, "Nigga, you gonna put me in jail? I nigga, in jail, nigga? Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Well,
That's
that
when
was
it get
smart.
get deep right there. Because
off
He
yeah,
that's
probably did the
off."
right thing.
Hmm?
Yeah, he did the right thing to go ahead and do that, and be proactive on it before she got the swinging or things got physical, and then he going to be the bad guy right away.
Oh,
oh yeah,
he
oh
was
yeah,
gonna
oh
be up
yeah,
under the jail either.
oh yeah.
So I agree if she was swinging and just that mad that she, because it can be like that too, do that, and
Oh
he
yeah,
did a
Not
boxing.
now, not now, now. That's the crazy part about it. Cause my first marriage, it was kind of it was kind of it was tumultuous like that. Like we used to go through some shit and it used to get like that. But
multi.
my wife now, you know what I'm saying, we handle everything in house. If it's a problem, we go in there, we talking amongst each other, we talk it over like adults. We take care of it. We don't put nobody in our business. But that was the problem in my
Yeah,
first marriage because everybody was in our business.
I see. My thing is with my husband, I wasn't gonna mess up the paper. Now he did a
Right.
lot of dirty shit in the military. I was like, I never told because I was not gonna mess up the paper because you'd be a fool. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
my paper too. Um, but like I remember when I left, and it's crazy what you think of when you had enough. They ain't never lie when they said when a woman had enough. I
Right.
called the detailer. It's like I was like, I need orders. They said I can't stay here because I wasn't supposed to go to Japan in the first place. So she was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I'm gonna send you to Hawaii." I said, "Okay." I said, "And leave his ass right where he at." He said, "Excuse me," because we got different jobs. So his detailer, you have to sign papers so that you can get co-located with each other. And I
Yeah.
said, "I'm pulling my paper. You make sure you call his detailer, tell him leave his ass right there." He wanted to come. He wanted to come, but I was like, nope. He was stuck like Chuck. I was like,
Damn.
hell no. I was grimy too. I was like, hell no.
Oh
Leave
shit.
his ass right there. And he didn't want that because he was about to. He needed that escape because everywhere he go he raised hell. So he was trying to slide out the ring. Ah, nigga, you trapped. Don't holler at your wife now. We ain't married as far as I'm concerned. I left. I ain't say goodbye. Nothing. Gone. Left his ass right there. But he had took me to the brink. I had to get away. Reginald Peters said, Miss T, we doing
We
win
doing
the
win the
wiz
whiz
now.
now. Miss T do it all. She do the whole thing. She do boxing and everything else.
Exactly. I'm a multitasker. President
Hey, let
said,
me ask y'all. Oh, you go ahead. I'm sorry. You still in
White
your chat.
versus DD is in the talks. Who is DD? White. I guess he's saying Dillian White versus who is DD?
You said what now? What going on, Miss T?
Reginald said White versus DD. Or White v DD is in talks too. I'm not sure who DD is, Reginald. Spell that one out. Then PGA said no, boxing is on at BS. No big fights. Wilder just said that we are blocking big time fights.
Let me read out this PGH. Let me Miss T, if you want me to read it out real quick. What we have coming. These are the ones we have coming up. We got on next weekend. We got Pedraza versus Comey. We got Andy Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz. Andy Ruiz. That's a nice card. Okay, Isaac Cruz and Ramirez on that card. Yeah, that's a nice.
But I ain't paying no pay per view though.
I know that damn right. Damn right. You got Clarissa Shield and Savannah Marshall coming up.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Me too.
Now I ask y'all, Sky Sports is supposed to be carrying Clarissa Shields. Is that going to be shown on the zone?
It's ESPN Plus.
Okay. ESPN, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, extra.
And then you got Shakur Stevenson and Kaseko. You got Joe Joyce and Joseph Parker. After that, you got Eubank Jr. and Ben. And you got I want to see that one too. You got Sebastian Fondor. And it says to be announced, so I think that's gonna be it might be an eliminator or some shit going on.
Who the hell getting in the ring with that fucking mountain?
You got Deontay Wilder and Hellenius.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch boy D.
Yep, and you got Devin Haney and George Kambosos. You know the rematch.
I don't even want to see that shit. I already know how that's gonna turn out. PGA said, "Man, all them Charlos and their wives is crazy. I'm praying for." And then he said, God first, then family.
That's not a bad fight schedule. Plus Canelo and Golovkin, and I think that's going to be a great fight. Golovkin is no easy. He's not easy, man, for nobody. And plus, you don't know how Canelo Alvarez is going to come back after that defeat. Plus, Canelo Alvarez has been very, very busy, and he might be a little burnt out. I'm looking at an article right now talking about Alvarez might be burned out, Sergio Mora says. And I mean, that could happen, man. I mean, fighters don't stay on rolls forever. They're human. And Canelo been, in my opinion, I like for a fighter to be active, but 3 times a year, if you're having full 8-week camps, plus the fact that he's already got like 55 fights or something, already got a lot of fights. And and Golovkin, this is his swan song, really, too. And that man is still in tremendous shape. His last fight, he fought at a tremendous pace. There's not a lot of middleweights that can keep that pace. And I think the little bit of extra weight will help Golovkin. He won't have to. I don't think he drains down anyway. He's a bit of a natural, but I think he might come in 165, and that little bit of extra weight will help him. And I think that's going to be a tremendous fight.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I did want to say that over the weekend, the guy that Broner was supposed to fight, what's his name?
Figueroa.
We got Figueroa.
Boy, it was sad as hell watching that.
Man, that was sad. That was sad.
Like crazy, man.
Ain't he a listen, Jerry, for real, you've been around boxing for a minute. In your honest opinion, if you could train a fighter, would you ever train them to fight like the Figueroa brothers?
Not catching shots the way he was. I mean, I didn't realize that he slipped that bad. I've seen him when he was coming up. He had a lot of promise, and he's always been a come forward fighter. And those type of guys going to get hit. But I noticed, because I went back and watched his last fight, and because I didn't realize he had come off 2 losses, and he turned the corner, and he was getting hit with so many lefts, he was begging for a right, and I mean, he was just catching every shot that
Yeah.
Lipinets was throwing, and the only good thing that came out of it, because I felt a little heartbroken for him. Because I believe him when he says he trained hard, but his body just wouldn't respond. I've seen that before, and that's what happens when a fighter turns the corner. And with some guys, it can happen a lot earlier than what it can with others. Others, we've seen other guys, get late into a career before they start getting hit with every punch and they don't have their legs and stuff. But this young man is at that point already. And
Yeah.
between the pro
Yeah.
fights
32
and
years
all the
old.
sparring,
32 years old.
Yep.
PGA
Yeah.
said White is gonna be Daniel Du Bois, and then PGA said Canelo gonna KO Grandpa Triple G. It won't even be close. Triple G is washed.
Oh,
DJ
what's her
is in
name?
the building. What's poppin' King? He said salute Miss T. Salute
Oh,
brother.
Anderson gonna be Jerry Anderson gonna be on that Pedraza and Comey card. He gonna be on that card. Jerry Anderson, the
big baby.
young heavyweight.
Big baby. Yeah.
Yeah, big, yeah.
PGA said I love that ass kicking. Yes, gave Figueroa a favorite fight on the night. That's what he gets for talking about AB mental health issue. I'm gonna tell you, I have always said that the Figueroa brothers, as well as the Benavidez, but I think Figueroa is worse. That shit works when you young. Cause you're right, Jerry. He was a hot prospect coming up. I was like, what you gonna do with this dude? But I don't like his fighting style, and that's not a reason that a person should change because people don't like your fighting style. But he leans on you, he lay on you. I don't know how he get them long arms to bend up and cause damage in close like he do. But that's all he do. He lean on you. Fucking Lipinets took that shit away from him by standing his ground. He wouldn't back up, and he was catching them because they dare to be hit. But when you young, you got all the reflexes and agility in the world. His brother is 25 years old. If he ain't careful, he better go back to the drawing board because I don't know who allows them to practice. I always say you do what you practice. And these guys been allowed to practice this way all this year, squaring up, walking. I mean, he ain't no fucking boxer.
But Miss T, if you think about it though, Lippin is that's a bad motherfucker because he only losses to Michael Garcia and Boots.
True. Lipinets is the truth.
Yeah,
He's more of a complete fighter. And that's
Well,
all he did. That's all he did was be complete in front of Figueroa.
Lipinets looked good at 140, but he had the right opponent in front of him to look that good too. But I like Lipinets back at 140. He was never big enough for.
I did too.
Yeah, I ain't never think he was good for 140.
If Adrian Broner, I didn't think Broner was going to beat Figueroa because simply because of his work rate. But that Figueroa that I seen Saturday night, I think Broner would have beat him.
Broner would have beat him. Yeah.
Probably would have stopped him.
He had no power in his punches.
No,
he was leaning and lunging. He was off balance. He was squared up. It was ridiculous. And
he's done.
And he was slow as a bitch because Lipinets is not the fastest fighter, and he was catching his ass every time.
Right. Yep.
Did
y'all see that body shot that Never Gator? What's his name? That body shot.
What
He
card
gave
was that
a vicious ass body shot. With
was that on Showtime?
Yeah, that was on Showtime.
Damn, I ain't figured out.
Hold on. I could be lying. That was Navarrete in Bez. But that was on ESPN. That was on ESPN Plus. I was flipping back and forth, so I got twisted.
On my Showtime, I can't go back and get like before when I had the cable. I couldn't go back and do on demand and stuff. This shit on Roku. All I could do is watch it live, and whatever they want to put up there, they don't. I haven't seen no icon that I could click for the boxing match. So I'm like,
I was all over the place, Big T. I had ESPN Plus going, I had Showtime going, and then I was watching the goddamn the UFC fight, and I saw Usman get his fucking head kicked off by Leon Edwards.
Oh damn! Did you hear that? DJ,
I
you hear
watched.
that? DJ said Canelo is gonna get washed by Triple G. That's DJ shit right there. That's the
Oh,
boy
DJ said
Usman.
it.
DJ, you hear that?
What
Yeah,
he say?
I said he said Canelo gonna get he
watch
said
by Triple
Canelo
G.
is gonna wash Triple G. I meant sorry.
I know, man. People talk crazy shit about fights when they're coming up. I don't know how they see um such dominance between two fighters that have
Pretty
basically fought to
pretty
a
much equal.
standstill. Yeah, I scored both those fights of draws.
Yeah.
Both the first and the second fight to me was far too close to call. And another thing is Golovkin uh in his last fight, people, I don't know, they underestimated Murata. Murata is a big middleweight. He
Yeah.
was a champion. He was fighting in front of all of his whole country where he's a hero, and he's
Right.
a tough fucking guy. But what Golovkin did to him is the same thing he always does. He kept a high work rate. He beat on him and beat on him
That
until he beat
jab,
him
that
down.
jab, that jab.
Yeah,
Yep.
and he just beat him down, just like
Yep.
and by most fighters can't go 8 or 9 rounds with Gennady Golovkin. And as good as Canelo Alvarez is, right in his prime, he could not beat that man convincingly. He just couldn't. You
Canelo in
know,
his 30s too. He what he like 31, 32?
well, that's the thing, and that's the other thing. A lot of people talk about Golovkin's getting older. Well, guess what? Canelo getting older too, and Canelo's been a lot busier. Golovkin has been preserving himself a bit. You know, he hasn't fought that much, so that good rest at the end of his career, he gonna be up for this fight. And I think it's gonna be. I think it may be a better fight than both the first two
But do
because
you
I
think
do
that
believe.
do
Hold
you
on. Is that first of all? What's going
do
on,
you
everybody? How y'all
what's
doing?
going on? What's
What's up,
going on with you,
DJ? Yeah,
DJ?
let DJ get in there. What's up, DJ?
So I'm just saying. So you think Golovkin fighting once a year for like the past 3 years, as opposed to Canelo's work rate, him fighting what 4 or 5 times in the past year or so? Like, so you saying that's going to be a good thing for Golovkin at 40 years old? I don't think so. And I think he
Yeah,
caught Murata
definitely.
coming off of a 2 year layoff and an injury. And Murata still hung in there hung in there 7, 8 rounds with him. So I mean, I think you putting a little polish on that turd right now.
Well, I just think that especially considering Golovkin's age, the slowing down is especially important for him. If he was 33, 34 back then, he was extremely active fighter, one of the most active in boxing. But, the guy is 39, 40 years old. I
He's
like the
40.
fact that he's 40
Yeah,
years old.
he turned 40, I think, right
Yeah.
after the Murata fight. It was either right before or right after the Murata fight. He turned 40.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I think that I don't think keeping him as busy as what he once was would be good. I think they did the right thing to slow him down, wait on this big fight for Canelo, have a couple fights, because he probably not the fighter that he was in the second
Okay,
fight.
let me
But
take
I
a little
don't think
polish off that
Canelo,
turd. You mean keep him fighting guys, don't let him fight any real challenges, and hopefully one day he gets another shot at Canelo? Because that's essentially what happened. Where'd he go? Is he still with us?
Jeffrey fell off.
Anyway, what's going on, Miss T? What's going on?
Nothing much, bro.
Man, I was like, I heard y'all mention that Usman KO. I was like, man, that
Yeah,
was
that shit was
so
crazy. It was crazy, man, because
so
He had
crazy.
Leon Edwards beat. He actually was gonna win that. Usman had that 58 seconds and that
Miss
goddamn kick.
T, Miss T,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you can think of any boxing match you want to, but I'm gonna use you got Bud for an example. Imagine if Jose Benavidez caught Bud with a left hook with 58 seconds in the fight and starched him.
I've been sad.
That's essentially what happened Saturday night. Kamaru Usman, now he lost the first round because Leon was the first guy to take him down in the octagon, all that type of stuff, and he controlled him in the first round. After that, the second, third, fourth, and fifth round, Kamaru Usman thoroughly dominated that fight. Like this wasn't one of those back and forth fights, or it's 2-2 going into the fifth round, and he caught him. No, that fight was not going to be in question. all Kamaru Usman had to do really was stay away from him. But since he's such a dog and wanted to finish him, it was the perfect head kick. Oh, it was perfect. It was perfect. Everything happened exactly how it was supposed to with that technique.
Yo.
Since Leon Edwards is a southpaw and Usman fights orthodox, but Leon is real good at switching stances because he's a master kickboxer. But he's naturally a southpaw. Usman slipped the punch. He slipped the right jab. He did what he was supposed to do, but so did Leon Edwards. And it was bang, and the lights went out.
Is this his first loss?
No, this is his second loss, but this is Usman's second loss, but this is his first loss in 15 fights. He was on a 15-fight win streak. Nobody outside of Kobe Covington had even come close. And including Leon Edwards, this was actually a rematch that he dominated Leon Edwards back in 2015. So, and he was dominating this fight, but he got caught. And it is what it is. Leon did what he had to do to win the fight at that point.
Damn, I know you were sick.
No. I really didn't care. I'm a fan of Kamaru Usman, but I'm also a fan of Rocky because a lot of people weren't giving Leon Edwards a lot of credit for this fight. They weren't giving him the proper respect. And I was like, no, Leon hadn't lost to anybody since he lost to Kamaru Usman. He was on a 10-fight win streak himself.
Oh.
And
that was on ESPN?
Yeah, that was on pay-per-view. It was on pay-per-view.
So, let me ask y'all, this is an open panel. What y'all think about Badu Jack and Popeye?
I thought Popeye won.
I did too, Jerry.
Yeah, he won. They robbed him. Badu Jack is a shot fighter. Need to retire. Get hit too much.
I didn't see it. I saw Hergovich. I saw Hergovich get a gift though.
Hergovich got a gift.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that Chinese guy. That was a good fight, a close fight, but I thought the Chinese guy nicked it.
Yeah, Zane won that, man.
Huh?
I said, yeah, Zane won that. Hurt didn't win that. Zane won that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I thought I had it 7-5, but you know, just like I thought Puello lost. I watched that Puello fight with him and Akhmedov. I thought Puello
did lose. He did lose.
Yeah, man.
Puello won by split decision. Puello won by split decision.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
I think that I think that Akhmedov was going. He was relentless, but I think Puello hit him with more combinations. He when you watch him, it can look like Puello won because he was hitting him. Akhmedov was hurting him. Trust me, Akhmedov give him a little bit more time. He was relentless. Like a different man probably would have quit, but Puello hit him with a bunch of combinations. And I thought Puello actually did win. Not by much. Okay. I
think it was a split decision. I think it was 7-5 Puello, 7-5 Akhmedov, and then somebody had it 117, 111 for Puello. I was like, whoa, I don't think it was that far apart, but all right, cool.
It won't like that. Like there's a couple of times like I was seeing it is had that have been a 15 round,
yeah,
he'd have been done. He probably would have.
I think Akhmedov landed the harder shots because he was all the body work was beautiful. But I think Puello was landing more combinations, like you said, Miss T. But Akhmedov was landing some hard body shots, man. And they were coming in 2s and 3s.
Do you see when Akhmedov was hitting him in the body and shit? Puello could have just went to the top. Got to fight with him. Sometimes you got to stand your ground and fight with him. I know it's dangerous, but Akhmedov was wide open for any of that shit.
And I think they were calling. I had it turned down because I was watching it at work, so I had I really couldn't hear the commentary, but I was sitting there watching him. Every time Akhmedov hit him with like a 3-piece to the body, Puello would back up reset and then throw a combination. But then he'd also step back and reset after that. I was like, man, that body work getting to him around that 6th, 7th, 8th round. I was like, yeah, that body work getting to him because them combinations starting to come few and far between now.
I
But
think he pulled it
Agmedo,
out in the
yeah,
last
man, it was
couple
just
of
that
rounds.
body work.
I think it was the last couple of rounds that Puello showed that he wanted it more or whatever
Yeah,
because he was more combination. Might not been the best, but he was hitting them and he was more active and he was
absolutely.
catching and shit like that. So, but Badu Jack, back to him. Lord have mercy. Now, listen, in his past fights, I would say he ended up on the short end of the stick in the past. And I was like, oh man, he got robbed. Like, I remember he could never get a win. And I was like, he clearly won that. But I don't like how he fight. And the bigger he get, the worse it looks. When you see him lunging or jumping in the air type punches, his feet always leaving the ground. He's slow. Sometimes I felt like, you was in Saudi Arabia, you was gonna get the nod. I know this sound crazy and I can't prove it. Him being Muslim, I felt like he was gonna get the nod anyway. But Popeye, like Jerry said, outboxed him. Popeye hit him. Probably not hard as he could, but he embarrassed him all them goddamn uppercuts on Jerry.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back, man.
Yeah.
I'm back, Missy.
I'm about to
Plus,
say
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
just
see
tell you,
his
man.
fight. I missed his fight.
Yeah,
plus,
Badu. You said Badu Jack, Missy.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't like Badu at cruiserweight. I don't like.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He don't move up the cruiserweight. So
He
I
need
don't
to take
know. You
his
know what
big
I'm saying?
ass
That was
back down to 68.
yeah, yeah. He
Popeye
I
was
don't.
smaller.
Yeah, he
He
was.
yeah, he don't even fight in that weight class. So I felt a little bad that he lost his undefeated record in a fight like that, because that guy's got good character and he's a pretty good fighter. And boxing needs fighters like that. And Badu Jack is done.
Oh,
He's just done at
Papa.
this point.
I don't want to see Badu Jack no more. I feel like he one of them people that skated under the radar. Because if you think about it, why Floyd ain't get on his ass? Why Floyd ain't put his boot on his neck? He
You
was
good, baby
at
girl?
Mayweather promotion the whole time,
Yeah.
most of his career. Mayweather got him a lot of fights, but he never
Mm-hmm.
related to nothing huge. You know why? And they never stopped giving him fights. He wasn't hanging out. I think he lived a more serious life, and he had sense enough to go to the gym, work out, and take his ass home and find other people to hang with. I think that was his saving grace.
Finna get ready to head upstairs.
Huh? but but yeah, Badu. I mean, Floyd did get him a lot of fights. When we be sitting up here
Yeah,
saying Floyd don't get other fighters fights, he definitely showered Badu Jack with some shit. And Badu Jack, I remember when Floyd and them was bragging way back earlier when he first came out, how he made him a millionaire real quick. I'm like, off of what?
well, he had a lot of promise in the early going, but as I remember, he took some of them fights he took on the road, and he lost some close decisions. And before you knew it, all that promise and his undefeated record went away. And time goes by, and we don't realize it as much because we watching other fighters and the up and coming guys and this and that. But time goes by. I hear Badu Jack did a lot of sparring, paid sparring partner, and somewhere along the line, just like what's his name, Figueroa, he lost a step, and I'm like you. I think
He
he's up
did.
a weight class.
Yeah.
He's up a weight class too far, and his work rate is down, and he's done. But let me tell you who else is done, and I know you ain't gonna agree with this, but Deontay Wilder.
Oh
I
nah,
got
you're
I
right.
got
I
big
ain't gonna agree
concerns
with
for.
that.
Yeah, I got big concerns for Wilder. I can't think of too
Why
many
you say he
fighters.
done, Miss Jerry?
Well, I'll tell you why. One, I can't think of too many fighters that could get beat down twice, smash the bits in a row, and then people still think, especially late in their career, because Wilder has almost 50 fights. That's a heavyweight career. I mean, a lot of people don't realize. I mean, I know he didn't take a whole lot of punishment in a lot of those fights, but he did take some, and it's all the training, all the sparring. He's almost got 50 fights. And if you look at those fights against Fury, by the third, fourth round, Wilder didn't have any stamina, and he didn't have any punch resistance. And even though he could still punch hard, even his right hand, to me, didn't look, it looked like he was forcing it. Maybe because he was all balanced, his legs didn't look good. He showed the sign of
that was the last fight though, Jerry. And he put
well,
on
it was the second fight too, because in that fight he was getting beat really, really bad. A very damaging fight. There was fighters around the ringside screaming for the fight to be stopped. I was screaming for the fight to be stopped because that's the type of fights you can get really hurt. Because he was concussed and glassy-eyed in both of those fights early on, and the punch resistance wasn't there. His legs didn't seem to be there. It was a lot going wrong. And he made a lot of money in those fights. I know he's got beautiful children that adore him. I'm sure those little girls. He got a lot of money, beautiful house on the lake. I just don't, if he comes back, hey, if he gets past Salinas, then what I would do is try to make the AJ fight, because that'd be a big money fight.
And try to waste his time.
It was tough. It was tough on him. What is he? 37? Is he 37? 36?
Something like
37.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
It was tough. It was tough. That trio.
Too, like I think him being damn near 240 pounds in both of them fights also had something to do with the way he was moving too. So I mean, not only was it Tyson Fury being big as hell
and laying on his ass for all them damn rounds.
Tyson Fury 4 times within 3 fights. So he took a lot out of Tyson Fury too.
They took a lot out of each other. They took a lot out of each other for them 3 fights.
Man, and great fights do that. Great fights do that to fighters. But if he was content with his career and if he just wanted to sit on the sideline and be retired, fine. But he feels like he's ready to come back. I ain't gonna argue with him. I think Helenius is a good matchup for him to come back with. And after this, go knock out Dubois, and then we'll see what's going on. Who got the belts after that?
Well, after he fight Helenius, don't he become number 1 in some section about it?
Well,
I'm gonna say now, just my bad to cut you off, but I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna fall back. Helenius is number 2 in the WBA right now, and I think he's already fought 2 WBA eliminators. So we'll see how they move after Wilder knocks out Helenius in October.
Helenius is a tune-up fight. That's a former sparring partner. They're fighting him for a tune-up because he's already the number 1 to the WBC belt.
Yeah, he's number 1 WBC.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I said on here too, and y'all know it's Deontay country over here. But I say if you lost twice, that's what the record says. I didn't understand how he became number 1 in WBC. I wouldn't even want to fight for the WBC. Fuck them. I'll go fight for some other belt. But I would.
We were talking about that though, Miss T, because Joe Joyce was number 1, and then for some reason, when Wilder, but that's what that is. That's
money.
Money, yeah.
Why
Wilder sales.
Joe Joyce decided he was going to go the WBO route. I think he's the WBO mandatory right now, and he's about to smash Joseph Parker. I actually ran into him in Vegas, Miss T. So, yeah. I'm gonna say this about Joe Joyce, right? It's 2 things, right? It's 2 fronts. He's very tall, but when I looked at him, I was like, he's not that big, man. He's not as big as he looks on TV. I'll say that. But I will say this though, his hands are hard as shit. Like
bricks.
I felt like I was shaking hands with a cinder block.
Remember that African that fought? He fought on Wilder's undercard back last year.
F.A. Jagba?
Yeah. He fell off, huh? Because he was never fan. He's not fan friendly. I saw him I'm like, nigga, we in the same hotel. And I'm like, what's up? How you doing? And nigga ain't had no words. It ain't just me. He ain't had no words for nobody. I was like, not gonna get you nowhere.
Right.
Now.
Right. And it's just not only that, it was such a one-sided fight with him and Frank Sanchez. We saw what happened when a superior boxer got in there with him, and it was just, that was his first loss. It's just Mm, mm. And
Reginald
you
said,
can clearly see he's not ready for the level that a lot of people were putting him on. But it is what it is, man. You can still rebound, come back.
yeah, Reginald said, Wilder's still a dog. Fury took a beating too. Wilder's still a beast. And he said,
Right.
Wilder can beat every something but Fury. He can beat
But see,
everybody.
that therein lies the problem. Wilder will always have a puncher's chance in a fight. He could probably be 60-year-old man, and he's still going to have a puncher's chance. But fighters are different. They're not all the same for people. One, yeah, Wilder did damage to Fury, but Fury did much more damage to Wilder. And the thing is Fury is also younger than Wilder, and everybody's built differently. One guy can maybe take punishment his whole career, like a Chavez senior, and seem to maintain all of his faculties. Then the next fighter, like a Terry Norris, can take half as many fights, and he's damaged goods. I
But
didn't
yeah,
like what I don't
you
like.
said that.
I didn't like the culminating things that I seen from Wilder. The fatigue, the punch resistance wasn't
But
there.
again, Jared, there's reasons we can point to. We'll have to, like DJ said, I think we will all have to get a fair assessment. We will have to see him in October when he fight Helenius
Well, we
to
got to see.
gauge like how he really is. But see, I look at it like I know Wilder is made from good stock, which tells me that the dude is gonna be he's gonna have whatever he have his youth or whatever that's needed, like Mayweather. He's gonna be able to go longer than most fighters. Like you just can't tell with one fighter from the next. Paulie Malignaggi he was a good fighter. Paulie is a good boxer. He knew the game real well, but he was never no powerful elite type fighter. But he managed to become a champion. When Paulie got in about 32, 33, he was done. He was done. Or if we looking at Figueroa this weekend, Figueroa was like, my body just couldn't do it. He done. But Figueroa, I would add to the factor that he had a problem with alcoholism too. I ain't saying he was a drunk or he was an alcoholic, but I think I remember reading somewhere about he had issues with alcohol. And if people think that what you do to your body don't come back to haunt you, they got another thing coming when you're fighting or when you're in some kind of elite sport. Everything you do matters. Leading up, as you getting older. If you treat your body kind of foul when you younger, you're gonna pay for that shit once you cross the threshold of 30. Age
No
is
question about it.
No
defeated.
question about that, Miss T. And also something like the way the Figueroa brothers fought, like Brandon's not gonna make it to 40 fights.
Mm.
You got to look at these guys' fighting styles too. That blood and guts, stay in your face, exchange punches,
Leaning, square up.
just try to outdog a dude type style. That's not conducive to a long, prosperous career. You here
No,
for a good time, not a long time. So like I said, Brandon Figueroa is not gonna make it to 40 fights. I'll be surprised
no.
if he makes it to 30.
Look, when he get in his 30s, he gonna start falling off like his brother. Now again,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because of the age. That's how they get old. Like some people got a young gene, and some people look older quicker when they was, as they getting older. Like you can be 30 years old and already just looking like you aging, and then other people get damn near 60 before they start even looking like they aging. Well, it
Mm-hmm.
depends on I think one of y'all said it, Jerry. You might have said it depends on the individual. And I personally believe that Deontay got the youth gene. I think he got the great stock that's going to take him forward, no matter if he's going to be 37. Tyson Fury right behind him at 35. I don't know how people split 2 years neither. This is also a man who his youngness don't even count because he destroyed his body with all them drugs and alcohol and shit. He destroyed himself and ballooning up to as big as he is and coming back down. You know,
Yeah,
so
but again, just like the punishment, just like it's different with fighters and how much punishment they take. That same thing holds true with what you're talking about, Tyson Fury. Yeah, he did those things, but when you watch that big dude fight, he can fight hard for 12 rounds, and that kind of it's just different. One person is different from one to the next.
mhm.
Um, you know, and hey, I could easily be wrong. I mean, I'm not going to be surprised if he beats Salinas because he knows Salinas. He used to spar with him, and Salinas really not that good anyway. Even though I know he got a couple wins over that Kanaki, the Polish guy, but that guy's a straight up punching bag, and he was never that good anyway. I
He
just
caught
I don't
Tyson.
want to
That's
see
his
nobody
claim to
get hurt.
fame. That's his claim to fame, Jerry. He caught Tyson that time.
Who's
Elaine,
that?
Elena's.
Yeah, I mean, but he got whipped by Tyson Fury. Helena's not a bad fighter. It's not a bad comeback fight. So I think it's a good opponent to have to come back to test the waters. But if it was me, I wouldn't mess around trying to fight this one and that one. I'd try to really get to the whatever the money fight is
The
and get
meat
to
and
that.
potatoes. In other words, the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, because he's a veteran anyway. And listen, it's not like Wilder didn't make his mark on boxing. I mean, he had a whole bunch of title defenses, all those knockouts. He made plenty of money. And usually when fighters get 35 years old, that is what I've always heard is the roundabout average age, give or take a year or two before or after, right around 35, depending on the fighter, like we're saying, you know, that's when things start to you start seeing the cracks in the armor. I don't want to see nobody get hurt.
I think Wilder got it in him. And if he don't, he would know, right? Reginald say Joe is slow and easy setup for the right hand. Talking about Joe Joyce. And he said, stop playing down Wilder. Wilder can clean out the whole division. Fury is the only one who can beat him. You know what? And truth be told, Reginald, and y'all know how I feel. We ain't go in depth, but y'all know how I feel about that first and third fight with Wilder and Fury. So I think they both could beat
Yeah,
each
I'm just
other.
glad it's over, Miss T.
Yeah, I think they both could beat each other. But to think that Wilder is done because he got beat, let's not forget he broke his hand, and that's why he had to sit out a long time. So a lot of people thought he was just resting and all this stuff, and then he had to think about whether he was coming back. So he's back a year after his last fight. Look
Right,
at what he
right.
did in his last fight that he had. He knocked Fury down twice, and he broke his hand. That means dude leaves it in the ring. And Wilder is a force to be reckoned with. I feel like after this next fight, we're gonna see. But even still, like you said, Jerry, Helena's ain't a bad fighter, but he ain't the be all, the end all. So it depends on Wilder and how he feel. I think if Wilder knows his time is up, then look, this is what I'm gonna say. AJ has effectively avoided Wilder. He
Yeah,
effectively did that shit. Ducked him
yeah.
all this time. I don't care what nobody say.
I
You
put that
know,
more on Eddie Hearn, Miss T. I don't think it was necessarily AJ because what
uh,
AJ shown me in these last two fights against Usyk, he ain't no punk. You know what I'm saying? So it's I think it was
No,
more so Eddie Hearn not wanting that fight than
no, but
AJ.
these are grown men though, DJ.
Yeah, yeah,
You
agreed,
know,
agreed.
you know this man wanted to fight you. No matter what anybody can say, and they get caught up in the pay and the splits and all this bull crap. No matter what anybody can say, when you say who wanted to fight more between AJ and Wilder, it was always Wilder.
yeah, but they
Always
did make Wilder. They made Wilder a very lucrative offer to fight AJ, but it was a multi-fight deal, and the promotion and the networks got in the way. And they even saying now, going forward, that's going to be a tough fight to make because what's his name? JJ just signed an exclusive deal with Dazn, and Deontay Wilder is not a Dazn fighter, and that's going to complicate things, and it
I mean,
complicated
it
things in
might.
the past. But I do agree with you. Wilder has always been a bad style matchup for AJ. He'll knock AJ the fuck out.
Clean out.
AJ,
And
Yeah,
once I
clean
saw
workout.
AJ get dropped by a 40-year-old Klitschko coming off of a 16-month layoff, it's like Wilder's gonna knock this guy out, man.
Yeah, you're not.
And I'm mad because he could have been undisputed, but they was playing games. So it's like to me, Wilder, I'm sure when he looked back, he should have left fucking Tyson Fury in the gutter where he found his ass. But that's neither here or there going forward. But it's like AJ, I gotta give you hand clapping. You pulled off the biggest, what would you call it, duck move ever known to man. Like you effectively.
No, Miss T, the biggest duck move ever. The biggest duck move ever got to go to Saul Cinnamon Alvarez. The man ran from a man in 2 weight classes. So that's got to be the biggest duck move ever. He chased your ass in 2 weight classes.
Ducking Lennox Lewis.
Riddick Bowe.
You can throw that up there. You can throw that up there too. But Andre chased that man through 2 weight classes, and about to be 3.
Man, please, Andrade, ain't nobody running from him, man. Ain't nothing to run from there. That guy don't even look good against C-level opponents. He looks good for 1 round, and then the rest of the fight, he looks horrible. That's why he ain't fought nobody. He finally got a worthy mandatory, and he ran from the mandatory and gave up his belt.
See, nobody knows how good Johnny Beck is. Johnny Beck is as good as the skills look, as good as we see the skill. The man's only had 12 fights. I don't care. I'm not hopping on nobody. I'm not finna say nobody's just scary and dangerous and he's running from this person. Not nobody with 12 fights. Like, listen.
Well, you're saying that about Andrade. You're saying people.
Hold on, I gotta get a word from my sponsor. Thanks, Reginald, for reminding me. Go ahead. Hey, y'all.
Yeah, but Andre was a champion in 2 different weight classes with Canelo, and he told the man, "You never gonna get the fight. I'll fight the Rocky Fieldings. I'll fight whoever else. I'm not fighting you." And if Andre, the one thing that nobody could ever explain to me about Demetrius Andrade, and it comes from, and it's not just Canelo, it's Jamal Charlo as well. And one thing I could never understand is if he was such a horrible fighter, why didn't anybody go take his belt?
I'll tell you why. Because a couple reasons. One, Andrade has not beat anybody of any note. And so if you beat him, the first thing they're going to say is, so what? He never beat anybody. He was overhyped. The second reason is he's shown in almost every fight that he's willing to stink the joint out. I done watched him a lot of times, and I've seen him getting booed, fighting in his hometown. And fighters don't want to match up against guys that are going to stink the joint out and don't have any notoriety. He ain't the first fighter, Andrade, that's been ducked, if you want to call it being ducked. I'd say it's more that he's been avoided by Canelo, Charlo, Golovkin, all of them, but not because he's some super badass that they see something in him like, oh, this guy just going to be too hard to beat. I don't think they see it, because I damn sure don't see it, and I like him. When I hear him interviewed, I like him. I think he's a cool cat, and I'm not saying he's not a good fighter, but I can see why he's yet been able to get any fights. Now, he talked about fighting Benavidez, and last I heard, he gave up his 160 strap to move up there. What's up with that fight then?
We'll see what happens with that fight. But outside of Charlo, Canelo, and Triple G at 160, let's not forget, he was scheduled and signed on the dotted line to fight Billy Joe Saunders, and Billy Joe Saunders pissed hot. So that fight went out. So that's 4 guys, 4 champions that could have fought him and were supposed to fight him. That's the thing that bothers me. But see, that's the thing that
explain that, Jerry, about the Charlo thing. There was some tomfoolery and smoke and mirrors about somebody. It wasn't him who orchestrated that deal. He just woke up, like, it's almost like he just woke up one day and he was scheduled to fight, but nobody included him on the talks and made
He
the
never signed
arrangements
the
with him and
contract.
his dad.
Period.
That's what they said.
Yeah, they never signed a contract. Period. They were gonna pay Jermell Charlo, not Jamal. Jermell Charlo at the time. Remember, these are the Charlos when they was coming up. They didn't have a name yet. They were gonna pay Jermell Charlo more than him, and he was the champion at that time. Wouldn't you try to negotiate for more money? And before they look up, whoever done built the whole event saying that they finna fight each other, and Andre's like, I never signed anything. Point
Never
blank
talked to
period.
him
He
about
never
nothing.
signed a contract.
And that's why he
It's
could
a
walk
complete
away,
difference.
because he never signed. He could have been like, all right, okay, I'll capitulate. I'll just go ahead and sign. But you can't railroad nobody into nothing like that. Bold and
Yeah, but
Understanding is on the panel. What you got, Bold, about this weekend fight? So, or what have you? What's up, Bold?
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
We good.
What's
We
going
good.
on, man? How you doing?
Chilling. Before I get into that, I want to touch on this Andre thing. I'm disappointed in Demetrius Andre.
Me too, brother. Me too. I
Because-
felt like Johnny Beck would have been an easy win for him, but you know,
I don't think so.
Go ahead, Bo.
This is my thing. I don't understand who's running, who's doing his business, or whatever. But this is going to be looked at as a blatant duck move on his part, and I'm going to tell you why. Yes, he was supposed to fight Zach Parker before, right? And the WBO gave him the option after the Zach Parker fight whether he was going to vacate, stay at 168 or move down. So they basically was holding the belt for him.
Yeah.
Then he gets injured, right? No fault on his own, but things happen. Then all of a sudden, once the WBO mandated the mandatory, again, this dude was standing outside like a drunk rapper, begging for fucking Chris Eubanks of all people. Chris Eubanks is outside of his father's name. He's not really anybody. So my thing is, they say he's revisiting the Zach Parker fight. There's no guarantee that fight is going to happen. And let's just say if that fight does happen, because Zach Parker, even though he's relatively unknown, he's a pretty good fighter, but nobody knows him. And then on top of that, after he beats, let's just say he beats Zach Parker, where do we go from here? Canelo ain't gonna fight him. If Triple G beat Canelo, Triple G ain't gonna fight him. When it comes to David Benavidez own promoter don't even want to make the damn fight. The PBC basically done froze the man out.
So is it because of his
Jamal
skills?
Charlo moves up.
What is it? Is it because of his skills, or they just don't like the fella?
It could be a combination of things, but to me, it just seems like they froze him out, right? Because people, some people still want to go back to this old Jermell Charlo situation, how the fight fell through, and then you got goddamn the Showtime guy talking shit about him not too long ago. So to me, where does he go after the whole Zach Parker fight? He's not going to get any fights. So he should have just fought Janet back, right? Which is on an ESPN platform. That's going to get you more of a buzz. And if you beat Janet back, in my opinion, I think he could beat Janet back. But Janet back is a pretty good fighter. I ain't going to lie. But that will get you more of a platform. Bob Aaron might be like, you know what? I'll cut another fight for you. Because Bob Aaron won't get him some fighters. He's going to get them, even if those fighters are not, that well known. It's going to be on a bigger platform. And to me, what he did with this whole vacating the belt, man, I'm just totally disappointed.
But I thought he vacated the belt to go get a shot at the belt at the 168 division.
No, he just vacated that belt. He just vacated the belt today, Miss T. I think it was either today or yesterday that he vacated the belt. It was yesterday.
That's the second time he's vacated.
He didn't once they first announced him going up to 168 to fight Parker. He still had the option whether he won or lost. He still had the option. Either you're gonna come back down and defend it, or you can stay up there. But if you stand up there, you're gonna have to vacate it. I think Demetrius Andrade made his mind up a long time ago that he wasn't coming back down to 168, and he's just now telling us. So
Coming back down
I
to
mean, he
160.
wasn't coming back down to 160, excuse me, and he's just now telling us, and he just now at the 9th hour, once the purse bid was supposed to start, decided that he wasn't going to come back down to 160. Now, I was speaking about this earlier. I was like, oh no, that looks like a duck move. It's like, oh no, Demetrius. But I agree with Bo. I felt like he should have took the Johnny Beck fight, if nothing else, but to stay busy and to get on another network. Like Bob would have bought the fight because Johnny Beck's over there with him, and we all know what the WBO stands for. So he would love to have had that fight, but I felt like he should have just took the fight just to stay busy, and we could have saw what happened after that. But like Bo was saying, the PBC don't want to deal with him because you had Samson. Apparently, what happened with the Benavidez fight, Samson and Andrade's dad got into it. So Samson decided, hey, I just don't want to deal with him no more. So it's one of them things now. It's like I can't really defend what he did with Johnny Beck and not fighting his mandatory. I can't really defend that. There is no defense for that because you don't have another fight scheduled. You know what I mean? And you've been out almost a year. Like he hadn't fought since last December when he knocked out was the old dude he knocked out in New Hampshire. Quigley. Yeah, when he knocked out Quigley in 2 rounds. That was the last fight he had. So I felt like if anything, defend your belt, make some money, stay active, you know what I'm saying? Get another fight up under your belt because these other guys is fighting.
And not to
That
mention,
his last fight is the only fight that I've seen him look good in.
Let's just say, he fights Janibek, he gets past Janibek. This dude got a first flight to being the super champion, which he could move up and be the automatic mandatory for Canelo. Easy. If he would have just fought Janibek and beat him.
I mean, Canelo's not gonna fight him, man. Once Canelo told us,
he's not gonna fight him. He's not gonna fight him. But what I'm saying, it's gonna force Canelo to either defend or vacate. Like that easy, because
I get what you're saying.
Because the thing is, right, for some reason they somehow they satisfy Canelo mandatory for the WBO after he beat Caleb Plant last year. That somehow that was a WBO mandatory, even though he didn't even have the WBO. But for some reason they satisfied it.
And that goes into that category, Bo, when I say they do what they want to do. But Bo,
sometimes they do.
Weekend fights. I know you.
I thought it was a good fight on the heavyweight bout. I just think, see, this is what it comes down to. A lot of people criticize AJ, right? And no matter what he does, people just gonna shit on him regardless. At the end of the day, instead of taking away from AJ, we need to be praising Usyk for putting on a great performance. I mean, the man greatest weapon is his feet. He moves around and it looks kind of weird at first, but his movement tires people out, especially a bigger man like that. When it get later on in the rounds, those movements that he have, it catches up because ain't no big man gonna spend all day trying to chase around a little man like that, and he's tagging you up at the same time, giving you all these angles.
But don't that say that AJ is not the lead fighter? Everybody he's trying to say he is. He cannot fight boxers. That's what it's saying to me. It didn't happen 3 times. It didn't happen. AJ fell off. It didn't happen 3 times. You got Andy Ruiz, who is a more complete fighter than AJ, and Usyk twice. 3 times.
Yeah, but he outboxed the shit out of Andy Ruiz in a rematch.
It won't that great.
No, he outboxed the mess out of him. Now, when it came with Andy Ruiz, the only reason why he lost that fight, let's just be honest, because he started off boxing Andy Ruiz early in that fight until he dropped him. Once he dropped Andy Ruiz, he went in for the kill. Yep. And while going in for the kill, I guess he thought Andy Ruiz was still hurt. Andy Ruiz countered that and started beating the shit out of him. So
I never faulted AJ for that because that's what you want from a fighter. He floored Ruiz in that first fight, and Ruiz looked like he was seeing stars. And what happened? And we've seen it before in boxing. Pacquiao Marquez, he tried to finish him, which is what I would have told him to do, but he got reckless and he got caught.
Yeah, I just think that when it comes to boxers who can move and be on their toes and all that good stuff, AJ is always gonna have a problem. He just seemed like he hanging on for dear life. He hanging on by a thread. That would it seem like when he's in there fighting people who are true boxers. AJ is too big, too stiff, and as I always say, the first thing in boxing 101 is your legs and your feet, your leg movement and your feet. And people would think it's your hands, but if those two things ain't working, you don't need to be in no ring with nobody.
right, but this the thing, Miss T. It's not like Deontay Wilder, is a smaller heavyweight, got the greatest feet. He doesn't have great feet, and
No,
he's more athletic, and he doesn't even have great feet when it comes to boxing.
No,
So
but he can. Both of them can box about the same to me. I never sat up here and called Deontay the greatest boxer, but AJ is not what everybody say he is.
yeah,
That's why
but
well,
I
my
always got exposed.
my
ain't
thing
nobody
is,
really saying that anymore, though. It's become obvious to everybody now
Now,
that
yeah,
he's a, well, I mean, he's got 3 losses now, but like I say, Lennox Lewis
yeah,
had two
he
or
got
three
he got he
losses.
got he got 3 losses, right? Two from the same guy, a guy who was pretty much, in my eyes, is number one and number two pound for pound guy. In my eyes, Usyk is a bad boy, and I think that's where people, get it wrong. AJ, to me, he's the only, like, to me right now, he has the best resume. I don't care what nobody say. He has the best resume in that heavyweight division. This dude gets in there, right? He tried to right the wrong, with Usyk. It just didn't pan out. That's all it had. It just did
how,
not pan
how,
out.
how he
Huh?
got the better resume? He had Klitschko. Who else?
He fought all the guys he fought were nothing but mandatories. How many mandatories did Deontay Wilder fight?
I don't know, but how does
Two.
fighting a
He
mandatory
fought
make
two
you a
mandatory.
better
No, no,
resume?
I'm just saying, because when you fight a mandatory, you fighting people in your top 10.
Mhm.
You fighting top 10 guys.
Yeah, but like when Earl fought Ocampo, we never heard of Ocampo. Still top 10.
But I'm saying a heavyweight is a smaller
Bunch of people.
amount of people. See, when you get to them lower weight class, you could kind of just put Joe Schmo out there, and
That's
things
how I
like
was
that.
looking at it because I mean I'm thinking there's a lot of heavyweights that we just don't know because the heavyweights we don't recognize we just don't recognize or we don't talk about the ones we don't know. But I think AJ for who they put before him, and I'm not one to downgrade any opponent that gets in the ring. I don't per se like to do that,
Yes, you do.
but I don't want to put 100 on 10 neither. You know what I'm saying. Mm.
AJ is a good fighter. He just not as good as Usyk. Usyk's just a little bit better than he is, a little bit faster and a little bit better fighter. I still think AJ can beat some guys, but he really reminds me of Frank Bruno. Frank Bruno was a
I ain't
guy.
that far. That's
Yeah, Frank Bruno was a guy that could probably beat any fighter in the division on a given night, but on any other given night, he could maybe lose. He would either get tired or he'd get caught. The chin and the stamina, that's always going to plague AJ. He's going to be good enough to beat some guys.
but he's only been stopped one time, and he wasn't like he was knocked out cold. I mean, so we gotta give this whole chin stuff a break. I mean, and you in the heavyweight division, people gonna get rocked, especially in the heavyweight division.
No
You
doubt.
know, somebody not having a chin is like a Lennox Lewis when he got put out cold twice, but Lennox Lewis bounced back. You know what I'm saying? I
Right?
mean, so somebody that gets wobbled because they get wobbled, I ain't gonna be like, yo, they ain't got no chin. At the end of the day, the man only been stopped one time and he was stopped on his feet. because
Well,
it's
that's what I said earlier. I said he doesn't have the worst stamina I've ever seen, nor does he have the worst chin. But it's not just the stoppage loss where he got knocked down 4 times, 2 times early, and then 2 times late after he got his feet back under him. But he also in the Klitschko fight and just in other fights, when I see him catch one outside the noggin, it doesn't look like it always. I'm not saying he has a bad chin, because to me, a bad chin means you're getting stopped every 3 or 4 fights. But his chin and his stamina are always going to be an issue. But I feel like on any given night, he could turn in a career performance and be as good as some think that he was. But clearly, he's not as good as what he was being propped up to be. But most fighters aren't. I mean, let's face it.
I don't say he should retire or nothing. But I don't think, he's an okay, excellent fighter. I never thought he was an elite fighter. I think that they did a good job promoting him, especially over there, and getting him to the position that he needed to be at. He's sellable, well, how y'all say, marketable, and he definitely
made a shitload of money the other night.
Body, and he's stiff as hell. Like ever since I've been watching him, I was like, this man don't move that great, but maybe he hit real hard, and I believe he got thunder on his punches.
Yeah, he punches hard.
But now I want to go back to some. I mean, what Jerry was saying. He was saying like, yeah, he got clocked or whatnot. But here's my thing: what was the end result? He got clocked by Klitschko, a guy that Deontay Wilder did not want to fight, neither him or his brother. He got clocked by Klitschko. Yes, Klitschko was 41, coming off a year and a half layoff. But what was the end result? He got his, his senses together, came back and stopped him. He got clocked by Povetkin. What was the end result? He stopped him. He got clocked by Dillian White. What was the end result? He stopped him. I mean, a man, like him, like AJ and Deontay Wilder, both to me, they are overachievers, right? Because they started their career, well, not the career, but they just started boxing in general late. And both of those guys are overachievers, and they accomplish a lot in the sport. Now, I'm not going to knock, what I'm saying, any of those guys. I mean, they did what they did, but I mean, I just don't like the fact that people just shit all over AJ, like as if he's just a nobody. I mean, the man did what he had to do,
Yeah, I'm not shitting on him. In fact, the Klitschko fight is where I became a fan of AJ's, because where I hear people shit on him, to me, the chin and the stamina thing is just factual. But I hear people unfairly criticize him, say he ain't got no heart. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man. Did you not see that Klitschko fight? He was hurt badly in that fight. And yeah, Klitschko, I think, was washed up in that fight, but still, you got a big guy that was a 10-year heavyweight champ. And Joshua showed a ton of heart in that fight. And I actually think he showed a lot of heart in the Ruiz fight too, because that wasn't his night. And it just wasn't his night. But he still was trying to fight through it. Now at the end there, he gave up a little bit, I think, but I think he just knew it just wasn't his night, and that happens to even the best fighters, can have a bad night and get beat. So I'm not shitting on AJ. I'm a fan of AJ, but let me ask y'all this. What did you think of his behavior after the fight?
I mean, overall, he is expressing his feelings. It was immature, right? It definitely was immature. I get it. You frustrated. You thought you want to fight. I didn't think he wanted to fight. I thought he could have won the fight, but like you said, the stamina issue, right? Because like I said, Usyk, he's a mover. He will tire you out just by movement alone. And then he was countering over AJ. AJ would throw out some lazy ass jabs later on in the fight. Yeah, and Usyk would counter right over it. Boom. So you could tell AJ ain't had no energy. But as far as his outburst, I mean, yeah, but at the end of the day, he did come back out immediately and apologize for his outburst. So I will give him props on that. But as far as the outburst, I just thought it was a little bit well, actually, I ain't gonna say a little bit. It was immature, put it that way.
Yeah, these guys, though, I give a lot of times leeway right after a fight like that, because they get caught up in the moment, adrenaline. This guy's got the press constantly in his face. All that hype is a hard thing to live up to. But God bless America, man. Did he make a lot of money? Even if he quit right now, man, that guy has made a lot of money. I heard he got like 60 million for that fight the other night.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man. They said the purse on that was them Saudis got money. It ain't even funny, man. You could probably be a rich homeless person over there. So it's hard to feel sorry for him.
I don't want to see him end his career. I mean, I think he has a lot more fight left in him. He just ran into. I mean, Usyk is a bad boy. That's what I'm gonna say. He's a bad boy.
Well, for me, I told people, and people disagree. And I'm not saying he's not a good fighter, but I think Usyk a little overrated, to be honest with you. I don't think he belongs at the top. Yeah, I don't think he really belongs at the very top of the pound for pound list. Certainly not ahead of Earl or Bud. And
I don't have Earl Spence rated high like that.
Well, I got Earl and Bud up there, and I got Canelo ahead of Usyk also because of his body of work. Usyk doesn't have that many fights. His 2 fights prior to fighting Joshua, he looked every bit of average against Chisora. And I know he did work at cruiserweight, but I'm not really altogether impressed. I just think the problem that he presents is he's like a heavyweight Lomachenko, and you get a big muscle bound, stiff fighter like Anthony Joshua with Usyk skills. He just outskilled him. I mean, because you could see the fight never really turned into a fight. It was a polite boxing match, and only time it turned into a little bit of a fight was there in the 8th or 9th round when AJ was raping him to the body, and then it looked like it could get interesting. But I think he's just a tactical. He's like a Lomachenko at heavyweight. He's going to beat a lot of guys, like you said, basically on the footwork, the angles, and the activity. Even though the punches ain't really that hard, it's the work rate and getting to him. He's not easy to hit either. And a stronger
he can't be figured out. He can't be figured out that
heavyweight division. Like if he was fighting in the 90s with Holyfield and Riddick Bowe and even the Atomic Bull and David Tua and some of the other guys, I think he wouldn't. He's got 2 good wins against AJ. Let's see where he can go from here.
I mean, I get it as far as comparison to the 90s, but this ain't the 90s. We're talking about right now.
No, yeah, right.
So you trying to say you think he's overrated at the heavyweight?
Yeah, a little bit.
But you just say
people start saying that he's number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world. To me, that's overrating him a little bit. Two decision wins over Joshua with no knockdowns, and it's not like he whipped Joshua's ass in either of those fights. He beat him.
Well, I thought he whipped his ass in the first fight, but
see, I thought he beat him, but I didn't see an ass whooping there. Not what
Jerry, what about that 12th round?
Yeah, I'm not saying he didn't have a couple good rounds. I mean, in this last fight, if you look at it, there was a couple rounds like the 10th round where he won big, but I don't know. The way I classify that
first fight when Bo said he beat his ass the first fight, he did.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at that last round, Joshua was holding on by a thread.
Well, he was exhausted. He was exhausted.
One of his reasons is he got exhausted because he was in a fight. So
I'm aware of that. I just didn't consider it an ass whipping. To me, I know what a good ass whipping looks like, and that wasn't that. I thought it was a fairly competitive fight. The first fight, it was fairly even up until about the 9th round. They were trading rounds back and forth, but then Joshua couldn't keep the pace in the championship rounds, and he damn near collapsed after the fight was over. And therein lies a big part of the problem where Usyk going to have an advantage over guy. He's smaller, and he got a really good defense, and his hands are pretty quick because he's a smaller guy. And just on work rate and angles alone, it's going to be tough for a big heavyweight.
What they say about AJ when he's getting tired or wore out from a person that's boxing him, but not even hitting them with their hardest shots? He just
Well,
catches.
it's like my man said there. It's not just it wasn't just the shots. It's the work rate and the angles, and trying to get at him. Because Usyk doesn't set down on his punches enough, but it's clear that he punches hard enough that you're not going to walk through him. And Joshua's got to keep in mind that, because last time he tried to walk through a guy, we seen what happened. So that's why I'm saying it. To me, Joshua walks a tightrope in every fight between how much output can I put out before I make myself too vulnerable through exhaustion, and how much can I exchange to where if I get clipped, then maybe I'm in trouble. Yeah, it's a tight rope, I think, for him. That's
So,
all I'm saying.
so look, y'all, we at 2:34. So in closing, I'm gonna go to each one of you guys for y'all closing thoughts. But I do want to ask y'all a question on the way out the door. Do you think that Joshua and Figueroa was exposed, and why? What was exposed about them? And just give your closing thoughts, whatever they may be. I'll start with you, Jerry. Go ahead.
Well, I don't think either one was necessarily exposed. I think, simply put, Usyk's a little better than Anthony Joshua. He's a little quicker. He's a little bit smarter. To me, he's not leaps and bounds better. He's just a little bit better, just enough to be better enough to beat him. I thought Joshua made adjustments. I could see some adjustments, especially early, and I thought he did better in this fight. But Usyk just a little bit better than him, and that's just how it goes sometimes. As far as Figueroa, maybe he did get exposed as being a shot fighter, because he shot. The only good news that I got out of that is I think he realizes he shot, because listening to his interview, it was a little heartbreaking, because I'm sure he probably thought his career would have turned out to be more. The PBC ruined him like they ruined a lot of fighters. He only had 5 fights in 5 years. That type of inactivity is going to have an effect on any fighter. Gary Russell, I don't care who you are. But nonetheless, he's done, and the good news is he realizes he's done.
That's your closing as well.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Oh, you too. They get
Um,
exposed. Why?
I don't think Anthony Joshua got exposed. Like Jerry said, I mean, he just ran into a better fighter. In my opinion, I just think Usyk just, I just think he's a lot better than what people think he is. He's a lot better. Now, as far as I didn't see any of the PBC fights. I actually watched the Top Rank joint, and I'm gonna say my guy Navarrete was exposed again. And my thing with him is no defense. He was losing that fight before he stopped the dude. But I think Navarrete needs to work on his defense. Not only does he need to work on his defense, he needs to sharpen up his offense as well. My man is his fighting style, he's gonna have a short career if he keep fighting the way he does. And I think personally he needs to hire another trainer to really sharpen his skills up, because that boy's gonna get hurt.
So this was on ESPN.
Yeah, that was on ESPN, regular ESPN too.
I gotta go back and check.
Yeah, no,
Navarrete against who?
he fought Baez.
Oh, that's right. They were.
Yeah, and
Fight something.
yeah, I watched that fight. I mean, Baez, he was putting it on Navarrete. Navarrete, I mean, of course, he was coming off a 10-month layoff, so he looked rusty or whatever. But the word was the dude ain't even have a dietitian. He's just eating all types of bad stuff, and it really showed. It's like, dude, you got to clean up on your stuff, especially now you starting to get a large following, and you fighting like you in the streets. That ain't gonna last too long. So yeah,
Well,
he was exposed.
that's great. I felt like they both got exposed. I felt like Figueroa got exposed because again, I would never in a million years let my sons and none against his dad, but he's their trainer, to do what they do in practice and fight the way they fight. They lean on you, they square up. They often make themselves flat footed, and you can tell that they don't have to be. Because I've seen them be on their toes when they want to be. but they don't like to fight in the boxer stance and come at you like how you properly train a boxer. They want to lean on you and lay on you and put their head all in your chest and shit with that wide ass torso. And like I've said all along, that's good when you're under 25. And when you get to your late 20s and 30s, holler at your girl. Let me see how you are then. But also, I don't know how many 30 for 30s or whatever kind of shows got to be played. If you a drinker, it's going to come back and get you in your 30s. It is. It's just the way it is. You're not gonna get away with abusing your body. You can't be an elite athlete and get away with certain things that a casual athlete or a novice athlete can get away with. You operating on the elite level, you gotta fine tune that machine called your body, and you can't put bad juju in it and think you're gonna reap some kind of rewards as you get older. There's already a natural degradation, and that's what we saw in Figueroa. Because I actually think 32 is young. I don't understand why you declined that fast at 32. Like Jerry said, the average is like 35. But, that's the exposure that Figueroa got. And if his brother's smart, he'll be looking at him and going back to the drawing board and learning how to fight properly.
Little defense.
Huh?
Yeah, a little defense.
Yeah,
Move your fucking head. Move your fucking head a little bit. I mean, that's how you know Figueroa is all the way shot. Because you know he's 32, but you don't know how much paid sparring that he's probably done.
Yeah,
that style that he has, lots of fighters have fought that style and had success with it. But you're right. I mean, the more punches you take in a career, Mayweather knew it and knew it well. The more punishment you take, basically, the less you're going to be able to hold up. He looks to me like he maybe overtrained too, but the way he was getting hit, it was almost like he was blind because he was getting hit with shot. I could have hit him.
Yeah, he looked like he had the body. Not that it actually looked like it, but maybe in the inside, you would, if you didn't know no better, he's 42 instead of 32.
Now, does he fight that? Does he fight that Mexican style, whatever?
Now he squares up and walks to you. He leans on you, and he got the both of them, to their credit, got these long ass gorilla arms, but they can fucking bend them shits and hit you and hurt you and shit, while at the same time leaning on you. I don't know how they do it. Anybody else, you'll be like smothering your punches, but they got like a swimmer's body. Like their body, to me, I was expect them to be swimming with Michael Phelps or something. But that's how they do, is they lean on you and then just try to, just lay on you and curl their arms up. That's, kind of like what Brandon tried to do with Cool Boy Step.
Now, in my opinion, I thought Brandon won that fight.
I thought Cool Boy
I thought he outworked Cool Boy Step in that fight.
Ooh,
yeah.
Damn.
Like to me, it was a close fight, but I actually gave that to Brandon.
And, damn. That's first I heard. I gave it to Cool Boy, but just not much. But when you young, my whole point was, when you're young, a lot of shit can work. You would never teach nobody to fight like Manny Pacquiao. There's people who got their own way, their own unique style that's unique to them and works for them.
And it's like conditioning
their way don't necessarily work for the masses. And
and another thing too, if you do watch that ESPN card, because I gotta watch the PBC card because I ain't see that. But another guy that got exposed on the ESPN card was that dude they was hyping up was Stantion.
Who?
Stantion.
Stanionis?
No, Stantion. He's on Top Rank. He was a welterweight. He's not even ranked in the top 10, but they was hyping him up because he had good boxing skills. But apparently he got with, he trains with Robert Garcia, so his son was coaching. And this dude not only got a gift decision, I mean, two of the judges gave it went 10 rounds. Two of the judges had it 100-90. Now, if you watch that fight, that dude Stantion got his ass whipped. That dude Luna was hitting him up with major uppercuts and everything, and somehow two of the judges gave it to Stantion as a clean sweep. I looked at that fight, I said, man,
That's
you know,
unfortunate.
they got to get rid of these politics because that was a highway robbery in my eyes.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, if you put your body through all this sacrifice and all that, we be over here calling ourselves trying to be on the diet. I know I do. I be like, it's hard enough. I can't imagine going through the sacrifices they go through, and then for somebody to rob me, in the end like that. But like people getting exposed, as far as AJ is not an elite fighter. That's all I was saying, exposure wise. Not an elite fighter. He's an excellent fighter, but he's not elite. And I know that because he never had the leg move. So I'm just saying, he said phone died, y'all. Great show. Peace out, Jerry.
Now, who you consider elite at the heavyweight division?
Right now, I don't really call any of them elite. But if I had to pick one, I'm gonna pick the guy with the most belts. The guy I like the most right now is Usyk. I can never like Tyson Fury. Never. Because I don't see him separate of cheating in some kind of way, shape, or form. So I can't really put no stock into him. Somebody who can go in there and get it out the mud and get in the ring and do and hone in his skills and fight you with his ability and his heart. That got to be Usyk right now. For right now. But it's Deontay country over here. You already know. You already know.
Oh man.
So that's just how I see it. But AJ just never was elite. You can't be. Because I know and you guys, I don't consider myself a top-notch trainer or whatever. I just got into coaching not that long ago, and I was mostly working with
you coach
kids.
boxing?
Yeah, I was coaching boxing before I even started this show. Yeah, I
Okay.
thought y'all knew that. Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
And I work with mostly I was coaching kids. Maybe, I don't know. I think they liked me because at first it was just me helping out. And then it just got more involved and more involved and more involved. I had my nephew in it, and my nephew, both of my nephews, they the goods, but I don't know, they didn't stick with it. Now they grown, they young adults, but they didn't stick with it, and I was like, damn, my nephews could have been a beast up in that bitch. But I had one of my nephews in there, so I was volunteering a lot. And when you're dealing with kids, it's good to have female presence, because around the gym, because you got 8-year-olds and sometimes 6 and 7-year-olds and a bunch of men. So, I was just always in there waiting for my nephew. And like I said, that's how it started. And then I started working with the grown men. We had a couple of fighters that go on Showtime. Money Powell, him. I see this guy in my head. I think he was from
I thought
Richmond.
he was a West Coast dude. So he's down there with you?
Well, he comes down a lot. He was
okay.
For a while that he would come down. His trainer's in a wheelchair, right? And he would come in there. We had a dude named Aaron fight on the Showtime card not that long ago. Who else? See, the pandemic got my time schedule all messed up. But we have people that's notable in boxing that come through there, and the coaches that I work with, they've been doing it forever. They were boxers themselves. So that's why I was saying, yeah, I coach you too. But especially when you start off coaching, you have to learn them fundamentals. So we did a lot of fundamentals, road work, this, that, and the other when you're teaching little kids, because you want to train them properly, not improperly. That's why it irks me so bad, the Figueroas or the Benavides, because who trained them? I don't know how if they say they've been boxing since they were kids, I don't know how they get to the age they are fighting the way they fight. Because I tell you, it's going to be good for them when they're young. Get over 25, get close to 30, and watch how none of that shit work for them. You have to have an alternate plan. Like Floyd said, when my hands got brittle and always was breaking, I had to find another way to win. They don't have that in their repertoire. You're gonna always square up and you're gonna get knocked on your fucking ass because your agility and your reflexes are going to slow down. Age is undefeated. Time is undefeated. You don't beat Father Time. And so that's why I don't like how they fight. I don't dislike them personally, the Figueroas, but they oh god, I hate how they fight. And AJ, he don't have no legs, in my opinion. Too muscle.
Nah, I mean he is robotic, but I like AJ. You know, I mean the guy is really trying hard. I mean, he tries to fight the best people. That's the one thing I can say about AJ. He's trying to fight the best people out there.
I still think he avoided Deontay though a little bit. I mean, if he wanted
Really?
that fight, yeah, I do because it didn't happen, and it's not that
Yeah,
hard.
but I don't see that because they offered Deontay Wilder multiple times to get in the ring with AJ. And I understand people ain't like the first offer because they said it was a flat fee, but that flat fee would have been Deontay's Wilder highest payday even to this day. It would have been his highest payday.
But he
And
took
then
it.
not only that, they went to right the wrong and offered him a better deal, right? And the reason why I say that is because Deontay Wilder not only acknowledged it once, he acknowledged it twice. After the draw with Fury, he could have had to fight with AJ, right? He got the offer and he tweeted it out to Fury. Hey, I had an offer to make more money fighting AJ, but I wanted to fight you. And I get it. At the time, he like, well, shoot, everybody said I lost to you and it was draw. I want that rematch. Okay, I get it then. But this time, you acknowledge it again, and then the first thing that come out, he tweets out and he said, "Oh, they trying to use me for like an insurance because they knew he was going to lose." Like, dude, you better take that goddamn deal. Like for real.
But both, like way before. I remember what D-Town said about it too. But way before he ever fought Fury, I just saw a man who wanted to fight AJ, and I didn't see AJ wanting to fight him. In the end of the day, because I know D-Town said something about they offered him this money, but they knew he couldn't take it because of contractual obligations elsewhere. But at the same time, I never heard like how he knew. Like he might have knew, but I don't know how he knew. But that's neither here or there. AJ the one to say, well, first I need this, and then they get it for him. And then, I just seen a person wanting that fight, begging for that fight, and the other person not really begging or wanting that fight. That's why I say he avoided him. I don't think AJ is a slouch, but I just never saw him as no elite fighter.
I don't see any of them as an elite fighter. I don't see AJ or Wilder as an elite fighter, right? But my thing is this. I don't see, this is the problem I have with the PBC, because I think the PBC be turning down a lot of fights, a lot of deals, especially when it comes to the brothers. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I see a lot of these people on these channels, they be like, oh man, we need to like they shit on these promoters talking about, oh, they don't stick up for black people and whatnot, and then they praise the PBC. The PBC turned down the fight quite a few times, right? How is it that non-black people on the PBC could get the big damn fights? Like a Caleb Plant gets $10 million to fight Canelo. Andy Ruiz gets twice. He fought AJ twice. He got a big deal fighting AJ. You know what I'm saying? But you got brothers out there. Listen how they do Crawford. They don't want to offer Crawford money. And then when it comes to Errol Spence, look how they be paying them brothers over there at the PBC. Spence guarantees be like 1.5 million, 2 million. Like they don't even make money and stuff. And as much as Bob Arum catches hell for all that shit he be saying about Crawford, and I get it, and it's well deserved that he catches hell. He's paying Crawford way more money than the PBC paid them brothers over there.
That's true. I don't understand it neither. I don't think it should be that hard. I think if you want the fight, you want the fight. I bet there's a lot of unknown prospects in boxing that's with Golden Boy, PBC, Matchroom, Mayweather, whoever who's getting fights and crossing the street all the time, but because they're not like highly notable fighters, then we don't know that or we don't focus in on that. I guarantee you, there's a lot of crossing the street and sleepovers on a regular with all them damn boxing folks, But when it comes to the big guys, like you said, Terrence Crawford and Earl, as I always advocated, I don't know why Earl don't get paid more than that 1.5 or 2. I mean, it's a slap in the face. He should be getting paid at least 10 million, or 8 or something, guaranteed something. If he the big fish and he bringing in either cash cow now while Deontay was gone or whatever. But it's a lot of stuff that don't add up. That's why I always say, and I know me and Jerry go back and forth on this one. They do what they want to do, and I just really believe that people gonna do what they want to do. Sometimes they bite their nose off to spite their face, or what have you. Yeah, we had some good fights this weekend, as Extra O was talking about, and he was saying there was gonna be some good fights coming up. But
yeah, it's been a
it's
great year of boxing.
I don't know.
Nico Ali Walsh looked real good this past Saturday.
Oh, he was fighting. So I commend this young man for fighting often. So I got to go check that. I definitely got to go on ESPN.
He had a rematch. Out. He had a rematch with the guy that I guess they went the distance with, and he ain't looked too good. But he looked good. He looked good yesterday. Now he still was
making. He got rid of Sugar Hill. Remember?
Yeah. So now he's with
somebody.
He's with K. Karoma now.
Okay.
So he went from Sugar Hill. Then he had another trainer after Sugar Hill. I forgot who it was.
Yeah. It was
was it Ronnie Shields?
It was somebody we all knew. I can't remember.
Yeah, and now he's with K. Karoma, and he looked good yesterday. Only flaws he had was he keep backing up in straight lines. You won't get caught like that,
Mm-hmm.
But as far as
he need a duck,
yeah, like he got to get his head. He got to get his head off the center. That's his main thing. But he looked good with those body shots. I said, damn, he's like a different person.
Well, I guess he got tired of people saying, damn, Michelle Rivera looked more like Ali grandson than you, and or he channeling Ali more than you. It's like, hey, it ain't all in the name, shawty. And then his name, Nico Ali Walsh. Is that really his middle name?
Yeah, Ali is his middle name.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, look, the chain was broke, Bo. Because from father to father to father, that's the chain. Once you put a girl in the middle, and look, I'm a woman saying this. That's just how it is, y'all. Because you can take, like, Bo, if you got a son, you don't got a son, do you? Or you do?
No, I just got a daughter.
Okay, so Bo, you broke the chain. So from your father, from his father to your father to you, and whatever son you had, y'all will all have the same kind of DNA.
You know what's so crazy? Like all my brothers, we got daughters. All my sisters, they got sons.
That's like, crazy. Y'all flip flop.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? With my siblings, everybody had a boy, and then they had a girl.
Oh man.
I just had a girl. Now I say kids, y'all hear me say that a lot, but that's my daughter's brother, and I look at him like my kid. I did a lot of raising of him, like in the, he stayed with me all summer, not just for a week or weekend, from like May to motherfucking the end of August. I mean, so he is like my son. So I was my son, and my daughter to his mother is like her daughter, the daughter that she don't have. Mm-hmm. So that's my little, experience with the son. But I only had a daughter. Yeah, so, and it's crazy because I never would have thought I'd have had a daughter. I thought I was gonna have knuckleheads. But I'm gonna tell you, she give me a run for my money. Woo, Lord,
oh, man.
But it was a good weekend. I'm gonna go back. I'm glad you told me about this ESPN, so I'm gonna go back and watch it. Hopefully things get better. I'm disillusioned because we don't have.
Now, how would you go back and watch the ESPN joint? Because I have a hard time trying to go back
Well,
and
I
watch.
got the app ESPN Plus.
Yeah, I got that too. But sometimes, like when the fights is off, they don't put them back up there.
Well, if you go into okay,
Cause yeah,
I haven't
I go to
seen
the
it on my
boxing
smart
section.
TV, but my Fire Stick. If you go into the Fire Stick ESPN, they will have a fight up there. You can hit search menu and put their
So
name, and
so
that full fight
it's
will
only a
come up.
Fire Stick.
Yeah, or go down the bottom. Keep
Okay,
scrolling
because
down the bottom.
I got the ESPN app and I searching all over, and it's like once that fight is over, you can't find anything boxing that happened this past weekend or nothing.
Well,
Like
ESPN app is on my Fire Stick. So like when I sign in ESPN, that's the banner, right? And
yeah,
then when I get in there, it'll say at the top ESPN or ESPN Plus. Matter of fact, put this
but
on.
yours is like a Fire Stick app. It's not like the actual app.
Oh, hold on. Let me see. Because I got Roku too. Let me go
Yeah,
to
because
ESPN.
I got a Fire Stick as well that's jailbroken. I could like it don't say like
I'm gonna pull it up on this TV right here beside my computer, and it's off of Roku. And I can't go when I had cable because I got rid of my cable. That's how bad PBC pissed me off. I got rid of my cable. I'm blaming them.
Mhm.
So right at the top, I got ESPN. Go down the bottom, and I know okay. They get to that part where they say sports. They got pictures of mixed martial arts, baseball, football, soccer,
Yeah.
basketball, golf, and boxing. I'm gonna hit that. The lineup they got. So they got these old school fights.
See, I know when it
Those
comes to
fights.
the zone definitely leave their things up there
They,
for you to go back. But ESPN, they
they
be
got
like
these
stingy with
quality.
it.
Um, and they got the Navarrete bias, the whole fight right there. Why you can't pull it up? Right here.
Hmm?
It's right here on my joint.
So they still have it up on there?
Yeah, they got Navarrete and Baez. Right?
Yeah.
They got the plus, but then they got I'm trying to look where they got
Because one
this
thing
yes.
about I noticed about ESPN Plus as well, if you order pay-per-view and you watch it, um, they won't leave it up there on the app, even though you already paid for it.
Really?
Yeah, like the zone will. Like if you buy pay-per-view on the zone, it's gonna sit up there for like a good month before they take it down because you paid for it. ESPN is like you gotta watch it right on the spot because there ain't no record button.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, well, when I had Direct TV, if I wanted to see ESPN, Fox, or Showtime, stuff like that, I just go
Yeah.
on demand and pull it up right there. But I got Xfinity now, but you guys I don't got a lot of channels. I got the ESPN with all the sport channels and Fox, and I got Showtime on my Roku. But the thing about Showtime, I can't do on demand. I got man, when I tell you I can't even tell you how much that cable bill was. I was like, y'all got me twisted. How the hell do I pay a cable bill every month? And every month it keep going up. Like, and I ain't did shit differently. I was like, I'm out. I'm out. See, I should have left when everybody else was leaving. No, I try to stick around. I'm the only fool that kept my damn Direct TV this whole time. And all it took is for them to also
I,
give me a bill. You want to get rid of me? Give me a bill.
so I ain't gonna lie, I still got cable. I'm gonna get rid of this cable. Only reason why I kept the cable because I got DVR on it, and then I'm really wanting to look at the local channels and stuff. Now I do have like a jailbroken Fire Stick where you could get channels all across the world. But you know how it is with Fire Stick. A lot of times the joint be lagging behind compared to like
The trick is what I'm seeing, and I should have been got rid of it, but we got Xfinity now, so this is what made me go ahead and take that leap because before I had Wow, and I just couldn't trust Wow when it comes to my internet. So you gotta have a good internet. Cause like you got so many free channels. I don't know how I'm getting them, but the internet is all that. And I like the Roku because the Roku can add channels to your thing and pretty much be watching them shits for free. I ain't got to jailbreak it or nothing. It just is what it is. Um, so
Yeah, because I just be wishing like, because some of these apps I got it just straight through the TV, like my TV in my living room. I actually just bought the ESPN app and then bought the DAZN app, but I wish they just have like, where so you could just have regular local channels on these apps and stuff without having to jailbreak it.
oh yeah, you can like get you a Roku, dude. Let me tell you, my Roku is pretty much free.
It's better
I
better than
I
Fire
am
Stick.
just now starting to see the charge that they charge me like $10 for Showtime. That's it. That's the only thing I put on this Roku.
So
Other than that,
you get local channels too.
local channels and everything, dog, and the TV guide in it. It
And
is not. It's not.
it's better than Fire Stick too.
To me, I like Roku better than Fire Stick because it works really easy, really good. Like when I want to go to ESPN, boom, it pops up. ESPN Plus, boom, it pop up. Fire Stick, well, it could be the Fire Stick itself that's degraded. I don't know, but it just seemed like Fire Stick always got a little work. All the sports. If I was into football and baseball, I would see every damn game. They all of that shit show on here for the free. I'm not paying. I got ESPN Plus, but I'm just saying, like some of this shit. I mean, you know how football shows locally. Like I live in Georgia, so of course I'm gonna get any Atlanta Falcons game that come on TV. They'll show it in my vicinity. But what if I wanted to look at Portland somebody? I don't know who they. I'm just trying to think of a team over there on the other side of the country. They might not show it over here in Georgia on the East Coast or something like that. You know how y'all footballs is regional, but I see them all on here. I don't look at football, but all the college games, all the shit y'all dudes be wanting to watch and shit. But what I did was I went into my Roku, I added an app, and so I got Voodoo now. Tubi, I like Tubi because I love old movies, just movie spirit. So that's all free. I got a lot of free stuff. I do a lot of free stuff, and I ain't taking nothing from nobody or nothing like that. My cable that I got is basic cable,
Mm-hmm.
and with Xfinity, I don't know if they offered it to you around there, but Xfinity bought out Comcast, so I can't say enough
I
about it.
thought Xfinity was Comcast.
Well, I think, or Comcast bought out Xfinity. They merged. They're merged now. I
Oh,
like
okay.
them way better. And when my friends was telling me years ago, get rid of your cable, but everything that I will watch on my TV, they saw. And I'm telling you, they ain't paid for nothing. And I was like, how are you able to do that? And they was like, you gotta get a good internet. And as long as your internet good, you can set up your TV to catch everything you want. And so even stuff like Netflix, like I will get like Netflix, Voodoo, Paramount, right? Them the three that I pay every month. Not a lot. Voodoo, I don't even know if I even pay anything, but I got my account loaded up in there. So if I want to buy a movie, but then I share that with family members who got things like Amazon Prime, Hulu, and something else. So even though I'm paying for three, I got six. You know what I'm saying?
Now
That's
my
how you
only
got it.
thing too is like how your TV comes with like I guess the TV apps like I got a Samsung, so I got a Samsung app
Mm.
and it got some channels on there. Look like the channels look like it's set up in a direct TV mode, but you turn to them but they don't show like local channels. It's just like basically some other stuff on there.
Yeah. Smart TV. I love my smart TV. I can't do no other type of TV. And so I'm YouTubing all the damn time. like you said, you got these apps. You hit them, you get to go into them. Like mostly everything is free. You shouldn't in today's time. You don't even really need cable. To be honest, if you got cable, I keep cable. Why? Because I need to order a fight. That's exactly why I got it. And I got the basic $30 cable. That's what I got this time around. And everything else I got that I watch is free. I don't miss nothing.
Well, you can order on that. You can order a pay per view on the app now. So
Yeah, they got Fight TV and all that stuff. But for years, that was my reasoning. But 200 plus cable bill, I'm done.
yeah, I gotta get rid of my cable.
Yeah, as long as just make sure you have a strong, reputable internet company that you
Yeah,
got.
I got some cable called Breeze Line. I ain't that,
Ain't
it's
never
like
heard of
something
that.
brand new, you know.
Who they took over for?
Well, where I'm at, where I had Thames Valley, but we also got Xfinity and Cox and all that other stuff where I'm at. But
Cox is
now it's
good
like
too.
Breeze Line. I guess they took over a lot of stuff, and I'm like, I don't know who the hell these people are. They ain't even
I,
got an office.
I gotta admit, Xfinity got the best internet. I done had a couple. I don't fuck with AT&T no more. Wow or Charter or Cox. I mean, I've had them all. Xfinity, hands down, got the best internet.
But Xfinity, for what I hear, is expensive though.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not. Yeah, no. My whole package, I got. The more you bundle, the more it gets cheap, and then they give you discounts. You know what I'm saying? So, um, let's say my cable was 30. That's for I made sure I got the Fox and ESPN and news channels, and the basic little BET whatever and all that bullshit. So $30, and then they discounted it. I forgot why, and I think I don't know if it was my military or something. They discounted it um $20. I can't remember, but they discounted, brought it down. All I can say is for internet and cable, I'm paying together like one something, 150 something. Now for I don't even want to tell you what my cable bill was before. I'm gonna tell y'all my dumb ass because I had Epics, I had Showtime, I had HBO, I had the movie channel. Like I had a whole lot of shit on my other cables, and I hardly even look at that much TV like that. But my cable was 260 something a month. Then
Oh
my
wow.
internet was like 120.
Oh wow.
So I was already in the threes just with them two, and then they kept going up because the other month, what made me really quit them is I pay my bill out every month, right? So I go and I'm thinking I'm gonna give me you know a regular bill. I didn't even pay attention to the two something the month before. But I thought it was because of the fight. That's why I didn't really cause a red flag because we had just bought the Javante fight or something something happened about it. No, I streamed that. What fight that came in May that I bought? Wasn't it a fight in May? Was it
Well,
the
you had a
zone?
Canelo fight. Um, who else fought in May?
It was a
Uh,
fight that I bought.
Devin
I don't know
Haney
what
had a
it
fight in
was.
May, right?
Hmm?
No, Devin Haney fought in June.
I don't know what fight it was.
Javante fought in May.
I didn't buy Javante. I streamed that. Thanks to Birdman. But it was some that I bought. It was a fight I
So
bought.
it must have been a Canelo then.
It might have been, and I can't even remember. But I was like, it came late or something.
But what
I'm
about
thinking it just got there late. In
now?
my
Did
head,
the ladies fight in May? No, that was in April, right?
uh, I can't even remember. I bought something on TV. I don't know if it was an event, a show. Could have been MMA thing. I don't know what it was. But Javante fought May 28th, right?
I think
Something
so.
like that. May
Yeah,
20th, the end of the month.
yeah, around that
So
time.
yeah,
Yeah.
he wouldn't have been on my June bill. But whatever that June bill, I'm in my head saying, "Oh, I must have bought something." That's what I thought. So that 2 something, I was like, "Oh, okay, whatever." Paid it out, zero to join out. July come around, motherfucking bill was 3 something. I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck y'all doing?" Oh yeah, this your regular bill. Regular my ass. I'm done. Lock it up. Throw away the key. I'm done. I quit them just like that because I was like, um, as much I don't know which one of y'all said this, but I spent so much money, Bo, and buying fights and stuff, and I've actually had a break since January because when I say I ain't buying no PVC fights, I've really have sticking to it and not buying no fights. So I'm trying to figure out what fight did I buy or what event I bought something. So you know, but I've been good. Like it had got to be every fucking month last year. I'm buying a fight or buying something. So I was used to my cable bill going up, and then when she said my regular price was 3 something, I'm later for you. I'm done, and I got rid of them. And they had just, when I say just, it's funny how it worked. They had just laid down the cables in my neighborhood. They put them underground and everything. I was like, oh yeah, I'm up out of here. I'm getting up out of here with y'all. And I called them, and she was like, well, we're not ready yet. I had to wait, but I told DirecTV, I'm done. I ain't buying shit else.
Yeah.
I used to buy movies. And it was some stupid shit. Stuff my daughter wanted. I was constantly buying shit on cable.
Mm.
Don't do none of that. And then Birdman helped me get this little thing on my phone so I can, when they tell you can cast, that technology that you can cast what's on your phone to a TV. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You got to pay for that though, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay, because I had something. I had downloaded an app on my phone. I just never like open it up. I think what is it called? It's called, or did I get rid of it? Oh, this one called Soul Player. Somebody told me about that. You could just watch it on your phone and then you could put it on your TV and all the other stuff. But I was told you got to pay for that though.
Well, I got an iPhone, so then in your smart TVs they got Apple Play,
Yeah.
but you got a cast button. It's almost like when we looking at like my kids had showed me this years ago. When we looking at videos, I can be looking at a video on my phone on YouTube, and then there's that little icon at the top. They be like, if you hit that, it'll pop up on your TV. Like that's how I used to watch my HBO movies and all that stuff. It'll pop up on your TV. So Birdman hooked me up with some streaming a while ago.
Oh
I
wow.
can hit that button, pops up there. So then that was while I'm protesting. But I said if PBC do the right thing and get the Earl and Bud fight, I'll go back to my old self. But like you said, you have to go. Even if I can't find a way on Xfinity, because I haven't tried it yet. But I asked them. That was one of the questions. I said if I wanted to watch a pay-per-view fight, can I do it? And she said yeah. So I had to make sure that I was set up to do so. But I think Fight TV, FITE, I think you can
Yeah.
buy a fight through there. I think that's what I did. I bought a fight through them. I don't what's that shit. And so yeah, again, so when the bills come, I just say, oh yeah, you bought a fight, you bought this or something like that. That 300 and something, I was like,
Yeah, that's a lot.
you rich for me.
Yeah. I mean, eventually I'm gonna merge all to nothing but, to the apps and stuff. Just, because like you said, like cable just too. I don't even understand why they charge you so much for cable now. It's like ever since these apps came out, now they want to jack up the price on cable.
It's crazy, ain't it? It's like counterproductive because
Yeah.
you got these apps and I mean, real talk, you can really have a full spectrum of watching TV without cable at all.
Yep.
At all nowadays. You don't even like my nephew got a phone. Don't even have service, like a telephone service with his phone, but yet we call his phone and we text him as if he got that whole thing on lock, set up like that. Don't ask me how he do it, but he does it, and he ain't robbing nothing because the number that you guys call me on is a free number through Google.
Mm.
So I mean, you can really. My nieces and nephews know how to do all this shit, but you can really have a full cable experience without even having cable. And my friends have been doing it for years, and I was hesitant because of how much I like boxing. But the
Yeah.
PBC showed me I don't even need to feel that way. So there you have
Yeah.
it. I didn't even pay for Joshua and which con that shit wound up being free on the zone.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's free on. It was free. It was no pay per view on this side of the world. I think it was pay per view in the UK though.
Yeah, it was. But then you
Yeah,
heard how
I
much
was
they got
surprised.
paid.
I was surprised it was free. I said, man.
I was, you know what? I was thumbing through YouTubes and people were calling the fight, and I said, I wonder is it on the zone? Because they said Sky Sports had the rights. I
Nah.
turned to my zone because I paid for that. Voila, I was in the 6th round with them. Like, damn, okay. Had I known, I'd have looked at them earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But when I figure out how to get to the fight, because when they on ESPN, I'm always able to go back and look at it when I want to. Maybe I'm waiting a week. I don't know, Bo. I never put much
Yeah, it
thought
never
into
seems to
it.
pop up for me. But like you said, yours is through the Fire Stick, right?
Yeah, and my Roku. I'm at my TV by the computer, so that's the Roku. My TV over there by my bed is Fire Stick.
Yeah, if I go through my app now, like my app, my ESPN Plus app is through my TV. I
Mm.
bet it won't even pop up there.
How did you get an app on your smart TV? I can't get it.
Nah, it was you don't have it on your smart TV?
I got Vizios and stuff like that. I don't know if
How
Samsung.
old is your TV?
This TV brand new, like within a couple of months. My other TV maybe less than a year.
What kind of is it a Samsung?
They Vizios. I like Sony.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, my Samsung already had like got a whole bunch of apps, and then sometimes they just pop new apps on there.
Yeah, that's what mine's do, but I haven't seen. It might be an ESPN app in there, but I know I can't download no apps.
So what I do is I go. It's like a slot that just says apps, and you go on there, and then it gives you a list of apps. They said like recommended apps.
Mm.
So that's how I found the ESPN one.
I have to look because
Because
I've been
like
trying to
I'm
do
looking at
that.
stuff like it said like Spotify, Sling,
Yeah,
promote like it's some apps I never even heard of. Promote
I just
function.
like how the Roku TV was the most simplest.
Yeah.
Whatever you type in, whatever app you want, it'll pop up and you hit add. Boom, it's there, and
Mm-hmm.
you watching it. I watch live TV, regular channels
Yeah.
on Roku, straight live, just like y'all doing. No cable. But the trick is, like I said, 'cause I don't have cable over here. But the trick is, you have to have great internet. The better your internet, the better you'll be able to maximize how many channels and things you can watch.
See, I just went on my ESPN app. I went to the boxing section, and only thing I could see on here is fights that they recommend, like older fights. Like it doesn't
They
even
gotta
show.
search. They gotta search.
And then sometimes you click on stuff on the app, it'd be like, oh, this ain't gonna play until this time on this day. So it won't even play. So I'm like, I paid money for an ESPN app. I can't never even. Okay, so now they got. I see the one that says Navarrete and Baez, but guess what? They're not even gonna play it again until Saturday.
Oh,
Like
they do. So
I
they
don't know
do
why they won't let
play
me
it.
just play it now. You know,
They I didn't know that ESPN. Like I
like
said, all I ever had was um on demand. I don't have that no more. I miss it though. I miss it a little bit.
yeah.
But
So
it's
that's what
life
I'm saying.
after
Like,
DVR.
yeah, maybe I have to like really go through this thing again, but it's just kind of hard to like maneuver around this thing. This app right here, like the zone, I could like it is just so simple, like so people friendly to maneuver around that app.
Yeah. I figure out what.
Like if I click on here, it'll be like visit espn.com/activate on computer or mobile app device. But I'm like, why is it telling me do that? And I already have the app.
Yeah, my app was on my RTV. I never put it there when I first got that TV. Got this new on there, but the TV before that, because that Direct TV Genie box was fucking up my TV. I mean, I've been through like 6 TVs. Every year I had to buy a new TV. It wasn't that. I'm gonna see if the search menu. Who was the main event ESPN fight?
Navarrete and Baez. Yeah, like this ESPN app, it just maybe I have to just browse. No, even if I browse, it do the same thing. It won't let you click.
Oh, there it is.
Like
Was that a
mine is
2 hour? Was that a 2 hour fight?
um yeah, I think so. And
Okay, so
only Navarrete and like I can see on here now. Like the next one is scheduled to start on Thursday, but it's in Spanish. Like they don't even show me the English version.
so go up and down the list. Like this one, the first one say ESPN. Second one will say ESPN Plus. I'm gonna hit that one if it comes up. And sometimes what it do is it makes me
Do you have at the top? Does it say like feature and ESPN Plus and then original and browse and all that?
yeah. I mean, and yeah, they showing the fight. I got the fight.
And what you go under? You going under feature?
I went. I'm Nico Watts about the work. But see the first fight. I have to tell you. What I did was I brought up my Roku, and then I went under ESPN Plus, and then I hit search. As
Oh,
I
you
hit
did search.
search, as I'm spelling Navarrete, it spells it out for me, Navarrete and Baez. And then I see the different little thumbnails, pictures of Navarrete and all them. And then all of a sudden, I just picked the one that ESPN Plus to see what do. You fast forward and make sure that that's what this is. Because it's 2 hours worth. Whatever it is, it's 2 hours worth.
I'm gonna do the search version and see if it works for me. That says no result. How you spell his
Yep,
last name?
yep, there it is. And just to prove it to you, let me take it off mute and see if this is
How you spell his last name?
Navar. I didn't even get to spell no further than that. I think it's 2 R's. An old boy name. But Nico's still fighting 4 rounders.
Yeah. Well, he had a rematch with that one guy.
That Sanchez dude. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Boom. He got on black shorts this time.
Yeah, he was looking good this fight.
Yeah, oh, that dude hit him though. That dude look actually a little bit better. Nico quick though. That's a good one. I'm gonna come back and look at it later, knowing that I can do it. I spelled Nava, then a whole list of things came up, and it's 2 hours long. See it,
Oh, okay.
and in the bottom left hand corner, and I got the one that's ESPN, and then it's ESPN Plus, ESPN Plus. See, that regular ESPN. Then they gonna say Dispartes eventually. It's
See,
just
it's crazy. I had to spell Baez just for the thing to pop up. Every time I put Navarrete, it would never even recognize it, but it recognized the Baez name.
yeah,
But even still, it's like I can't even watch it now
it's on there, dog. I don't know what
because
to tell you.
one says Saturday. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, it's Saturday 8:20.
Let me see.
And don't hit the ESPN one. Hit the ESPN Plus.
Okay. Okay, yeah. All right, I got it. And so you got to hit the search button to do it.
Yeah, you see you in there now, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, that's what I was like. What? I look at them all the time.
Man, I'm just saying, like this ESPN Plus app makes everything so complicated.
It do. It is not that user friendly.
Yeah.
For those who trying to look at it. But everything you wanted to catch on ESPN, you can catch. You just have to spell it out in the search menu. Go like ESPN is the basic one, but the ESPN Plus is definitely going to catalog things, and they automatically go up on ESPN Plus. So you just go to the plus and then hit search to find whatever it is you're looking for. They even got this UFC main card. Look like it was this past Saturday. That's up on there.
Yeah, I watched that actually.
And if you go down the list, boom, it's telling me to continue watching it. An hour and 60 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So it's there for to be watched. So now you guys
so you just gotta like really dig and search for it. Man,
it's like
that's why I like the zone
it's not
better.
user friendly. It's not user friendly. Like click. You gotta fiddle daddle with it a little bit.
Yeah, that's why I like the zone better because the zone they just put it right there in front. Like, okay, like they already know what's trending. They're gonna put all the trending things on the main page.
T-Ray promotion was Bobby King. I know I'm gonna go ahead and get off so I can get some rest because I gotta play doctor tomorrow. My daughter going to school, so I gotta take care of the dog. Bam. Gotta rub that stuff on her butt. I mean, man, she had pancreatitis. That I wouldn't wish that on nobody. She said that she was in serious pain. But the stuff that's coming out that ass, ugh.
Oh man.
Yeah. But it's my daughter, dog. She almost lost it. Got sick. I was like, girl, calm down. What is going on? Hey, my daughter can't even breathe as she talking. I'm like, oh my God. But she been a trooper. I mean, she did the bulk of watching because I can't deal with it. I got a weak stomach. So I can't deal with no smells and shit like that. I can't. She's like, I'm the only one doing it. But I you know what I look at it, Bo? And every woman look back in hindsight, we could go back to the moment where we feel like we was tested to see if we could be a mother. Every woman can say this, I think. Because I can go back to right before I got pregnant with mine. But I felt like I was tested. I was like, but that was a dry rehearsal right there to see if I could, pull it out. I wanted to do fathers feel that way, but I'm looking at what she been through with this dog this weekend. I'm like, if God didn't know she ready for motherhood, I know she is. She'll make a great mother.
Yeah.
And I saw. That's what I would. Yeah. But anywho, Bo, we're gonna get up out of here.
All right. Thanks for having me on. Definitely another fire show that you put up there, and
Thank you. Thank you.
you doing another one tomorrow?
Yeah. I was only out last week because, like I explained in the beginning of the show, my air conditioner, both of them went down 90 degrees in here. I had to get that fixed, and then my dog had pancreatitis. Sick hell. We thought we was gonna lose her, amongst a couple of other things. And I just didn't have the time or mindset to be on here. So I just said, you know what, I'll see y'all next week.
All right.
That's the only reason I was out, y'all. So I'm a back.
Speaking of AC, I got portable ACs, but I gotta get this the little mini splits. So I get that put in the house, but they cost a lot of money.
Yeah, listen, my advice was, I don't know if this matters to you, but when you call around to get an AC person to come out to fix your AC, repair something, like when you have the product and you calling people to service it or fix it or whatever, call somebody who's not working on commission. You gotta find those people. You might have to call around. The one thing, if you call around and say, I got this problem, how much y'all charge? They act like they don't want to tell you that they probably working on commission. And just like anybody working on commission, they trying to get the bigger bucks, right? So they gonna tell you anything wrong, But I wound up, I got in the beginning, like that Monday, somebody came out working on, he got me good. Then I had to regroup and find somebody else. They came out and fixed both of them. He was trying to get me, dog. He was trying to get me, and I wanted, needless to say, I won't be going to no boxing matches, none this year. None this year. Be surprised how much AC units, dogs, bets, all that. I mean, all that money flew out of my hand. I can't afford to do nothing on it. Look at shit on TV. But I learned a lesson. Don't be afraid to get with a local mom and pop, type organization. If the guy come out there and be like, or before you get out there, you be like, I think I got this wrong. How much you cost? And they can quote you prices. Roll with them. Roll with them. Like not quote prices like, well, it costs this for that, like basic shit. But I'm talking about like you say, I have this problem. How much does it cost to fix this problem? If they come at you and say, well, we got to send a diagnostic person out to look at that, or we got to send somebody out to look at it. We can't just tell you on the phone. Yes, the fuck you can, because you done fixed problems like this before. So how much do you charge people? That's all I ask. But you don't want me to compare prices. So now I have to say, fuck. And it's a hard lesson, thousands of dollars later, that I just had to learn. So I get with people who's paid by the hour, that's going to service anything in my house or fix anything in my house. If you pay by the hour, I want your service. If you pay by commission, don't even knock on my door. They gonna get you, but they got me. The vet, I couldn't help. You just trapped. You turn around and be like, $1,000. Gotta do it. So it's all good. I mean, life is up and downs, right? Up and downs. And take the good with the bad. But other than that, y'all know, when you know better, you do better, right? Right, Bo?
Yes, man.
Definitely. And I'm gonna say peace unless you got something else, Bo.
Nah, that's it. Thanks for having me on. Peace out.
All right, peace, y'all. See y'all tomorrow.